This is gonna be fun.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Let me see. I got that running on Twitch. Let me share my screen here. Were you gonna use
You
your?
want to have camera?
Yeah. Do you have your webcam? Can you just do your webcam normally in this? Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
And then
I usually do it through like OBS and all that, but
oh wait, that's me. Yeah, there you go. That's what I want.
when you're ready,
It should be
see if
loading.
it'll actually.
Yeah. What you may have to change your source, or if you have
switch.
There you
There
go.
we are.
There we are. Nice, we got you. Okay, then let me make sure. Because sometimes I gotta crop the. Let me see that if the half gas is cropping correctly. Where is it? It's that. Okay, yep. So I gotta move this. It's all good. This is from the last guest I had his. Well, I think it was Penn Center maybe, or someone was like super far off on the right. No, you sit how you're normally gonna sit. If you're in the middle of your screen, you're fine.
I usually sit like this.
Okay, stay there. It's okay. No, you don't.
I'll move around like this for you.
No,
right?
no. I can change it. It's just the crop settings. It's the crop. Yeah, no, we're not trying to make it like super difficult. One sec. Where's my crop settings on?
That's fine. That's fine.
It's because everyone has like their own little like place they like. I would just sit in the center of my camera. Is what I do. But some people like to be like way off to the side or something. Here we go. This is what I need. All right.
Right.
1 sec. And I just gotta filters. Yes, the crop, and then we gotta move you over. So let me see. I think this is gonna be like. How am I gonna do this? I think I want to crop you over like 400. Yes. Okay. Cool. We're getting good. And then this is gonna be like 360 maybe. No. I think I want this like 0. No. Oh. What am I doing? Sorry. 160. I get my rights and lefts wrong sometimes. This is down 300. There we go. Okay.
Hard.
Is this normal?
There we go.
Here, I'll move.
That's all right. You could give me a little bit more space.
I got you.
Give me some flexibility a little.
I'm going to give you a little bit more flexibility. 1 sec. 600. Let's get you 1300.
And I'm going to log into your. I'm going to watch the stream. It feels surreal, sort of watching this on Discord and on.
Yeah, well,
Twitch.
this will be the least amount of latency is what it'll be. That's what I say. Wait, 500 and then.
Anyway.
There we go. I think that's decent. Yeah, that looks like you. I can give you like a little bit more. 5. Let me see. 5. I forgot. I want this one to go down.
I'll return just a second.
You're good. Perfect. Okay. Cool. Yo, what's going on? Yo, thank you again for the sub, Obama. Super appreciate that. 1 second. We're just getting things together. I need to move him over a little bit. Let's see. I think this is 500. No, I want to move him over 600, 1100. And then actually wait, 620. And let's do 1080. Yeah, I think that's what I want. We have on that, yeah. Let's go. Yeah. He's coming in. We got it for you guys. 1 sec.
All right. That was
Perfect.
so fast and furious that I lost I didn't even bring in my phone.
Oh.
I was trying to log into Twitch and I couldn't even do it.
You're all good. So Fast and the Furious. It's all family. Did you ever watch the Fast and the Furious films?
I haven't watched them.
No, I think I watched the first one and then that was it. I was like done after that. I was like, I can't do it anymore. Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Oh, Teacup's here. What's up, Teacup? Yeah, so there'll be people. So there will be people in the obviously the Twitch chat. Some people are going to be in the stage chat as well on Discord, and so that's why I have like this like half guest view mode where it has both of the chats in the center there. But you don't worry, I'll read stuff off and whatnot. You just
I've got the
sit back and be an awesome guest.
I've got the chat up here as well, so that way I can keep tabs on it.
Teacup says, do you recommend any specific pencil? Before we get started, Teacup is leaving just in a second. Do you have any specific pencil recommendations?
So actually, none at all. Actually,
none at all. You're a chalk man.
Let me explain. No. What I mean is, so by the way, can you like zoom out a bit? Because like I'm looking at my face and it's like huge.
Yes. Let me see what I can do.
It just feels huge. Okay.
Your face is not huge.
I
you look beautiful.
So if you I'm just wondering because like. If I'm holding pens here, right?
Yep. Yeah.
I have I purposely use pen for all my math, not pencil. So
I like
don't
that.
recommend any pencil at all because I don't use pencil.
Oh, nice. I had the same thing, honestly, in undergrad. I would just use pen, but then this became an absolute nightmare when I took exams, right? Because if you get something wrong, right, like what
Right.
happens? You're like,
Well, so like I do, but even so, like I live dangerous. Like I have my
I live
crossword puzzles here.
dangerously. Yes.
Right
You do
here.
your
So I got
crossword
my
puzzles in
crossword
pen?
puzzle. Yeah, I do.
Oh, that is hella dangerous, dude. Wow, he's a dangerous
That
man.
is, yeah. I was asking for no, graphing and technical drawing. I get you. So like I wonder if it's something like
I can also pull things up on the web if you have like a brand you like or something.
no, I don't have one. Like I don't buy pencils.
I don't really buy
I
pencils
just
either.
don't.
There are some like super nice pencils, right? Like engineers use like specific like drawing pencils, I think, right?
Well, and I know that they exist. I just don't know them.
Yeah.
I like it. And it's just it's on principle. I purposely dislike the rule that you have to do all your math in pencil. So that's just sort of my rebellion, if you will.
I was like you too. I was
My
like,
subtle rebellion against the system.
yeah. Like I'm never wrong. I write stuff down. I'm a man of my word.
That's right.
Jeff says Zach doesn't make mistakes.
Yeah, Jeff,
You don't
I was
make
gonna say Jeff.
mistakes.
That's exactly right.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Teacup. All right. Here. Let me start off the podcast. All right. Welcome everyone here. Actual Education. My name is Dr. Gold. This is our Golden Hour AMA podcast. An awesome time for you to meet the amazing friends and partners and all sorts of people we have in our community and ask them anything. I'm joined this week with an awesome, very super special guest. I've been actually looking forward to this one for a while here, Zach, is because you're a math graduate student. And that to me, I think it's a hard thing to find. It's a hard thing to find math grad students.
You know, like, I don't know. We exist, I guess. We're a
exist.
dying breed. I don't know.
We
if
work in the
that's true,
shadows.
but we work in the shadows. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's we exist, and I think at our institution we have about 40 grad students in math and stats between
that's
two
big.
different groups. So that's not too small.
Oh wait, sorry.
I know
That's in the whole program. That's not just your year.
Right. So if you take all the
okay.
years, it's about 40.
Okay.
I think I've seen institutions that have more than that, maybe even close to 100. So it just you have to look in the right places, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, I would always say they need grad students, right? Because who else is TAing the classes? Who's grading the tests? Right? We're the slave labor.
We were talking earlier in like how the UCLA system, UC system is having issues and
yeah.
So
Exactly.
I would even say that the need will go down.
I see, because they're going to start just auto-grading stuff with AI and whatnot. They're just going to be like, oh, we can't pay grad students.
Yeah.
We're just going to use AI. Yeah.
I hope not, but that's my fear in the future.
Yeah. It's they're like, oh, we got to cut costs somewhere. Let's just cut the people. It sucks. Yeah. It's like, nope, don't like that.
It does.
Yeah. Okay, let's have you introduce yourself. Just quick, like, minute, 2-minute thing you want to say. It can be 20 seconds. I don't matter. Just to say to the audience, like, who you are, a little quick background, and then we'll go into some questions that the students have started asking.
Okay, so I'm Zach. I have been streaming on Twitch for 9 months now, nice. And we ran into you recently, and it's been good to be a part of this community. I love, by the way, Twitch. It's been so fun.
Yeah, it has been so much
I get
fun.
to answer questions I don't normally get to answer. It's like honestly a de-stressor for me to do that. It gives me something to look forward to, and I love talking to people about this stuff.
Yeah.
I have taught in public schools for 7 years, public and charter schools, and I have taught in the university now for 4 years, both as a recitation leader, if you don't know what that is, that's like the TAs, and then as instructor of record, which is like your actual professor. So I've done that. So I've been teaching for about a decade, and I have 3 master's degrees. Which is a weird story in and of itself. We might get into.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that for sure. Dude, 3. He's a triple master.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. My wife, I'm married and have 5 kids. And
wow! Congrats to you, man, dude.
Yeah, so,
I have 5 sisters, so I respect the big family.
Yeah, so there you have it. I've got 4 siblings of my own.
Okay,
and,
cool.
Yeah, so it's been interesting because my wife says no more. Like there's no more after this. Once you get your PhD, we're done with school.
No more.
That's right, no more. Yeah, like that's sort of like my professional bio. Personally, I've been all over. I love traveling. I love being able to go and make games. We'll talk about that too.
Yeah, for sure.
I have some projects I'm going to bring to my stream in some future time, game related.
Yeah.
And I I don't know. I've got a programming background. And we'll get into all this. I'm sure.
Yeah, no, all good. Okay, you're a multifaceted, multi-dimensional man. It's fun.
I do like Star Wars.
I fucking love Star Wars. Yes. Favorite Star Wars? What's your favorite Star Wars?
So I actually like The Empire Strikes Back.
That's a fan favorite. The Empire Strikes Back is a favorite.
Good one.
Yeah.
I know it's not like my wife disagrees. For
what does she
reasons.
think?
She thinks she doesn't like Star Wars sort of generally.
Oh, what?
But I think she'd probably go with A New Hope.
Okay, good, classic. If she said the sequels or something, I'd be like, that's a red flag, dude. Anything.
I did like. This is a hot take and controversial.
Oh, it's a hot take? Oh no,
I did like the Last Jedi.
Was that the last one they did, or was that the Rise of Skywalker?
No, that was number 8. That was episode 8, I think. The one in the middle of that.
I've erased these from my brain. I don't even want to know they exist, so I don't remember which ones they are. But
some diehard fans that I had in a church group once was very not.
Oh, I love it. Diehard Star Wars fans in a church group. Thanks, Sam. That's too funny. Really?
Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like we had a conversation. It's like, how can you like that? And I said, well, I do. It's.
This was the second one, The Last Jedi. Was it the second one? I feel like it was the second one.
The second in the new trilogy.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Wait. I see. So Leia's still alive for some of it, because then she died as an actress, I think, while this was happening, right? So they had to write her out somehow.
And they had to reuse footage and all that. Yeah.
Was this the Mary Poppins Leia, where she's in space and she somehow like magically teleports back? Mary Poppins, dude. God damn it.
It's too funny.
Okay, cool. You like that one? Yeah. I like Rogue One. Rogue One, I think, is the best Star Wars film out there.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
I agree. I like that one. I couldn't get into the prequel trilogies. 2 and 3 definitely not my favorites.
No, anything with the Jar Jar stuff, I'm like, stop.
And all that. I don't need to see that.
Did you watch any of the the after the series they did with the cartoons? Did you watch Clone Wars or Bad Batch or anything?
I didn't watch any of those. I probably should watch Clone Wars. I've heard good.
Clone Wars is really good. Yeah.
That's It's just not. With the grad student life. I don't have time to watch. TV
I know.
Twitch, right?
Yeah, there's no time. You're like, where'd the time go? It's like you don't get any time.
Chat earlier, yesterday, my chat was saying that TV, what was it? Penn Center was saying Twitch is better than TV anyway. So in some ways, I'm with that.
It's more interactive for sure. And again, y'all have. I'm glad I stumbled upon you guys too through Penn Center. I was like, whoa, we have all these other cool math people that are doing what I want to do, which is educate on Twitch. That's dope.
Yeah, Mandalorian. Yeah, Mandalorian. I haven't seen. I
think Mando's okay.
Haven't gotten into it.
To me, it's
references because this is the way, and Dr. Gold is not the way, right?
I like because it's a take on a spaghetti western. If you compare Mando to Andor is my favorite Star Wars TV show, and that's the prequel to Rogue One, because the guy who directed Andor is not a Star Wars guy, so he directed it as a spy thriller. So it's a raw dark version of Star Wars that I really appreciate. Whereas Mando is campy and fun and whatnot. I get it. It depends what Star Wars you want.
Yep.
Yeah, the live action ones.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, cool. Here, let me see. Let me throw up. So anyone else in the chat, by the way, you can drop questions in the chat. We'll try to get them as much as you can. Also, there's a link that I've posted. If you just go to, if you want to submit them, so that we have a whole list of. So what happened here was earlier in the week, we had an introduction on our server that Zach was coming to speak, and then all the students submitted questions that as topics that we're going to go through. If you have your own questions that you want to go, you can put them in the chat. We'll try to get them as much as possible. But also, we have a Google form. If you just go to ask.actual.education, you can submit whatever question you have, and we'll get to it before the end of the stream for sure. I don't know. What time? Do you have any time requirements, Zach? So I know to is your wife gonna be like, we got to eat dinner or something?
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
We're good for tonight. So,
okay, sweet.
I'm
good too.
Yeah, we're good. So we can go for a few hours, whatever works for you.
Whatever works. Yeah. Maybe we'll be the longest stream. I've had
30 minutes, and everyone's uninterested. We'll just
no.
30 minutes.
I need at least 2 hours just to ask you questions at this point, Zach. It's okay. All right, here. Let's see. The first question here is from Jamarcus. He says, "What is your response to people asking when math will ever be used in real life?" We get this all the time, right? Saying it's useless, and or saying that a PhD in math is a waste of your time. What do you say to those people?
Okay, so that's a loaded question.
You can take it piece by piece too.
I was gonna say we have loads of things to unpack there because
let's unpack it.
So first, I want to distinguish between something that I feel like shouldn't really have to be distinguished, but we'll distinguish. When you go to graduate school, at least in my department, you get to sort of specialize in what's called either pure mathematics or applied mathematics. And there's even like statistics, and you can do other things with data science and so on. The level of applicability sort of depends on where your focus is. So, for example, I know lots of people who do mathematical biology, and they do research with like the U.S. Forest Service and Park Service and so on, and like track different populations, like deer population. One of my professors worked with studies deer and how they migrate. So like there's stuff that's out there that's really applied. But then there's also really pure stuff, which is like deep theory that I'm taking a class in theory. That was actually my final exam today, pretty much in theory. And I'm like,
wait, this was your final exam, right?
Yeah.
This is your final exam?
Final. Yeah, I was gonna
wow,
say.
Congrats to Zach. He's done.
Defend the dissertation. Yeah.
Wow, woo.
Throw the confetti. Where's the confetti?
I need a confetti cannon. I'll get one.
Yeah, that's right. So there's that kind of stuff that I'm not super interested in, but there are times where my favorite times are where that theory and application come together. And so I think when you go to graduate school, you sort of need to pick which direction do you want to go. Do you want to go in an applied direction, maybe industry, maybe even in academia, you can work with like different groups, or do you want to stay on the pure side? And I'll say that the applied side is easier to get funding for, at least in my experience, than the pure. But and I chose to. I tend to lean more applied, but I like theory just as much. And it's sort of I'm doing something called interdisciplinary studies, where I take math and mix it with something else, and I'm doing it with education.
Oh, awesome!
Other people choose like biology, like I've said, or they'll choose things like what are some common ones? Ecology,
stocks, finances. The dark side.
Yeah, finance. You can do lots of things. Economic.
The dark side is finance, dude. Everyone just goes and becomes a quant for a hedge fund.
Right. What was it? There's a video that's cool. Veritasium did it on Black Scholes, and there's how to invest and stuff. So there's some fun stuff out there. On investing that I've been learning about too.
What's the interdisciplinary? I'm curious. What is the interdisciplinary stuff you do with education? How are you doing your math? Is it like just teaching math, or is it like analyzing students? Like, what is it?
So my master's project, you can find this online if you try hard enough. Okay?
I'll look for it.
It's not that hard.
How do I find it? What do I Google? What do I Google?
Okay.
I'll find it.
So I'm just giving it all away. Zach and infinite series. So my research topic was on how students understand infinite series. And I did a project, not a thesis, and there's a subtle difference. It's not even really all that much. I'll call it my thesis for the purposes here. But I studied how people learn infinite series, which isn't something a lot of people do. But that's where my interest lies, and it just was a convenient choice.
Oh, is this it right here?
That's the one, yeah.
Wow, okay.
That's the one.
If anyone wants to read his thesis, there it is.
Yeah, it is, yeah. And you can scroll through it, and it's all there.
Oh, very cool. An investigation on active students understanding. This is one of the hardest topics in BC Calc, by the way, right?
Which is why I chose it, actually.
No, it is. This is great. This is the like. I have a lot of kids that are taking the AP exams in the next week or two, and some of them are in AB, and some of them are in BC. And the AB kids always ask me like, "What's the difference?" I'm like, "It's series. It's a lot of series. Yeah. It's really just it's all this."
So this is the actual like motivation for all of this was was my own experience as a BC student.
Yeah.
When I didn't understand what I was doing, and I took Calculus 2 in my university, and I had no idea what I was doing, and it was just sort of like, I should study this because
I love this.
I don't know what I'm doing. I wanted to understand how people understand this stuff, and it's not well researched, so I went with it.
Oh, that's very cool.
And yeah. So
do you have any videos that you've done on this? Like, I mean, this is what I do. So when I tutor all the time, I do see certain things that always come up. Like the big thing with series that I see kids always getting tripped up is error analysis, right? Like what the bound is on the error. I always just say it's the next term, but then they're like, oh wait, but I have to pick the A such that it's the biggest or something, and then like they just get super lost there. So I try to create videos on them, like here's how you do it, so it's easy because it's not taught well. I was wondering, do you do anything like yourself, content you've put out to kind of remedy this stuff?
I haven't yet, and that's something in the future I want to do. I'll give a strong hint here. I've been putting out some I've been alluding to a course I want to teach in the fall.
Yes.
Like sort of how I did real analysis. So I've done some online class stuff here on Twitch. I'll give you a hint that there is a relation to this thesis in light of what I'm going to be doing in the fall. So
okay.
I'll give
Spoiler.
that. If you're listening and you want to know more, stay tuned, because that's sort of the direction there's a direction in that line of things that I want to have this class on. So
Oh, that's pretty cool.
there's
Okay.
a clue.
That's a clue. Yeah, we're leaving the breadcrumbs for the viewers.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Jeff, yeah, the answer is
go on.
yes, Jeff. Actually, I am. If you
What,
saw my
do you
opening
have a
page-
denomination? Do you have a denomination that you're religious with specifically?
So I formally it would be the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Ooh, Mormon.
Mormon. Yeah, I was gonna say that's how you usually informally.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That also tracks with having 5 kids and siblings. I will say, like, my generation,
it's a
right?
common misconception. That's a common misconception, though.
It's a common conception.
Listen, you. I get you.
Oh, Utah, he says, yeah. But go on, sorry. Go on. What's the common misconception?
It's a misconception because I know lots of people, even high-ranking members of the church, who don't have kids at all, and I don't know why, but like that's just the way it is. So I don't know that there's any number. There is certainly a correlation, and especially in Utah.
I think there's a cool value on family that I really appreciate within the Mormon church, because I went to Utah a couple times. I've visited, I've had conferences in Salt Lake, and I even did the whole tour of I think it's the giant church they have right in Salt Lake City.
In Salt Lake City, the temple there. Yeah.
The big temple. Yeah, I went through the whole thing. I was like, yo, let's get them to convert me. I'm down. Like I want to run through it. I just want to see what this is all about. And when they started talking about like gold tablets, I was like, I'm in. Like, what, they got gold tablets? This religion is awesome. But it's, to me, like, I like...
In light of Dr. Gold, I love that. That's
Yeah. And they loved it, too. They loved that I was wearing all gold. They're like, oh, the gold represents, like, purity or something. I'm like, not quite, but, I mean, like, I'm here for it, whatever.
Yeah. I'm at a different school, Jeff. Yeah, I mean, I have been to BYU, though. So
That's the main one, right? In Provo, I think, yeah?
That's right.
Yeah.
No caffeine in vending machine. It's true, Jeff.
No caffeine.
I actually, that was my undergrad, if you didn't know that. I graduated from BYU, and I'm doing my master's or a PhD up here in Logan. So
Cool. Utah's great.
Which is not a BYU campus, but it's a Utah campus. Utah school.
You must ski or snowboard then. Do you have any skiing or snowboarding? Because you got great.
I've done a little bit. Like I love it, but I don't get to do it as often as I like. So we have a nice place up here that I want to go back and actually take our kids to. We went a few years ago, but we don't go like all the time. We go on occasion. It's pretty expensive sport too.
It is. My friends keep trying to get me into it.
I was gonna say you have to get all the skis or you have to rent them, which can be a huge pain.
Yes, and then there's the injuries. Everyone gets injured in it too.
Yep.
I feel like I tried snowboarding I think 2 years ago, and I had like a freak accident and had to have like $20,000 worth of surgery. It was like the worst. I was like, I'm never doing this shit again.
That's horrible.
It was.
Dang.
Yeah. I was like, I have no more snow sports. I'm done.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. But I thought it was, so I wanted to comment real quick. It's interesting how in math you have the division, right? You said between applied and pure theory. 'Cause to me, I thought math was all theory anyways. Because when I went through my PhD in physics, there was, again, a divide between 2 camps. You were either theoretical or you were experimentalist. And then in my last couple years of grad school, this third branch has emerged, which is computational, which is now...
mathematical... Is it mathematical physics? Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, it's kind of like mathematical physics. Yeah, you're doing a lot of theory, but you're also really good at running like server nodes and stuff and running simulations. And I'm sure you've seen this maybe with the not resurgence, but the surgence of AI, right? Because that's got to be a lot of mathematical models involved, or maybe not. Yep. I don't know.
Well, and that's where the stats department, I know data science does more with that than the math.
Oh, okay. Very cool. I have a good question. How long have you been in your PhD program? I took 10 years for mine, so like mine was a while.
Wow, 10 years. That's a lot. Okay, so
10 years.
So the way I'm working on it, this is my 4th year, but I'm sort of did a master's en route to a PhD. So like I earned a master's halfway, and that's what that master's project you saw was.
Sure.
But then the PhD I'm finishing likely this year, so it'll be between 4 and 5 years.
Oh, that's fast. That's good. Yeah, that's good. For us, I think our average was 6.
Yeah, it depends, and that's really dependent on like where you go
Hmm.
and who your committee is. Like I will say, and if you don't know anything about grad school,
Yeah.
basically grad school when you graduate, it's a I like to think of it as a jury of your peers is judging
Okay.
whether or not you're going to be able to pass. And like at
Yeah.
the PhD level, there's not much further you can go as far as
Yeah.
rank, as far
You've
as
hit the top.
professors and so on. You hit the top, so
Yeah.
at that point it becomes a are you do your peers think you're good enough at it, and your peers are the professors who have done this before. So
Sure.
like that committee you make,
Uh huh.
and you have to, for me it's 5 people, but different people have
Yeah.
different
Mine was
amounts. I don't, how
4.
many were you? Yours
4.
is 4. Okay.
Yeah.
So
My
like
advisor plus three others, and then one had to
yeah,
be from an external department. Was kind of like the check.
yep,
So I had to get someone from
yep.
I think Earth and Space Sciences to like be on my committee.
Right, and I have the same thing. Yep. So I have 5 people, and those 5 people basically determine your future. So
Yeah.
like you have to choose. You get a choice in some senses, but you have to choose carefully and choose wisely, as they say.
Well, I guess you chose your advisor more or less, right? Kind of coming in. You kind
Yeah.
of you
Right.
said I want to work with this person, and they either had spots open or they didn't, right?
Well, I didn't know that they had spots open, but I had talked to them. I had
Okay.
talked to my advisor, and she was open to it. This was during COVID, like literally
Mm.
fall 2020 was my first semester in grad
Oh
school.
wow, that's
So like
rough.
that was
Wow.
the like
Wow.
trying to teach in fall 2020. That was something else. I hope that never happens again. But
Yeah.
like I just it was something that's a whole set of things.
Oh, I know.
I just
Had you taught
I don't
online
know what to
before that?
say.
Had you taught online before that, or were you just thrown into it?
No, I hadn't. That was my first.
Yeah.
I actually got to teach in person
Okay.
where we were, but we were like all masked and social distance and all
Sure.
that.
Sure. Sure.
But yeah, like I did. So this was hard. I had to teach basically multivariable calculus, which is 3D calculus,
Yeah. Yeah. The
online.
vectors.
I did have to teach that
Oh.
one online, and
Oof.
if you want to try and teach like the cross product online,
Dude,
I don't recommend it.
like doing this,
right,
like-
you're doing this, and you're like, how do you do the thing?
Yeah, I just like I do have some good visuals for online. I have like my favorite like
Yeah.
illustrations that I'll pull in, but I agree it is hard to be like, but bro, I need you to do this. And then there's the mirror effect problem, right, where the webcam's flipping it,
exactly.
and I'm like, fuck,
Because
it's
then
negative
you
cross
have the
product.
left hand rule, right?
Yeah.
You're doing
Protons, electrons. That's what it is in physics.
That's right.
That's our
Yeah,
gang
yeah,
signs.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Well, so funny enough, actually here in Utah, so if you've ever seen this is a mnemonic using for IJK. You can point one I, J, and K, right?
Mhm.
I don't know if you've seen this, like this
Yeah, I'll
hand
pull it
sign
up,
you can do. Some testing centers actually in Utah banned it, thinking it was a gang sign.
Oh, dude, they
from
literally
physics.
thought it was a
Like,
gang sign.
they thought it was a gang sign, so like they banned it from the testing center.
Yeah,
And I'm
this
like,
is-
what the heck?
Yeah, this stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
You got to be careful. You got to be careful with this on a test, though, right? Because especially for the kids that are right-handed, because they'll be writing with their right hand and then they'll start taking their left hand out and start doing the whatever, and then it's wrong. It's
Right.
backwards. Yeah.
Exactly.
So-
Yeah. You got to like mentally flip it.
You gotta make no. I gotta flip it. Yeah. That's too funny. Okay,
Gosh.
and so you came in. So wait. So we'll get to more of the questions. I'm curious about
Sure,
this
yeah.
rabbit hole of your masters. So is this master number 3 you got right before your PhD? 'Cause is that what
That's
happened?
right.
Okay.
Right,
And,
so
and
I
what
did
was the
2
other 2
previous.
before that? Yeah. What were the other 2 before that?
Right. So I did my master's, the first 2 online. So I've literally done asynchronous degrees.
Oh,
These
wow.
were through Western Governors University. I don't know if you've heard of them, but
I
they
don't think
do. So they're an online only program.
Okay.
And I did a math education degree, which was what my bachelor's was in. And then I did a let's see here, bachelor's, and then what did I do? Data science. That was the other one.
Oh, data science. Okay, cool.
I've got them on my wall. Why don't I just
Yeah,
look at them?
they're the best for that. You're like, look, I
They're
did
right
that.
there. I just couldn't even remember. Yeah, data science, data analytics, and used that for like a little bit. But I did those. My first one was actually just to get a better pay.
Uh-huh.
I just want, because in the teaching world, that's how you get paid, is having more education. So
Sure,
having a
having
master's degree
more
got me a bump
status.
in pay. Right. Then there was a period where I was unemployed, and I had to leave education. Like I left the K-12 classroom just because politics got ugly. And I said, I got to change my career path. So I decided I was going to go to data science, and I ended up back in education after that. Funny
Oh, wow.
enough. So
Education always brings us back. She's always like, come back.
It does.
We need you to teach.
yeah,
And what were
Yep.
you teaching? What grade were you teaching? You said you've been a teacher for 7
I
years.
mostly taught high school. So I've mostly taught high school. I've taught K through 12, almost all of it, like
Okay, wow.
literally every grade. I was a math coach for an elementary school
Oh, cool.
once for a year. That was during that unemployment period.
Sure.
But for the most part, I spent a lot of time in high school, and some in middle school. Very little, but I've worked with middle schoolers. And actually, of the groups that got along well with me, I think it was
your
the middle
best?
schoolers that were number
Really?
one.
Dude, my
Yeah,
sister
high
my
schoolers-
sister is a middle school
high
math
schoolers
teacher. She
like
says it's a
me.
nightmare.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like, I mean, I've thought about going back at some point, like just see if I would go back. I can't do it anymore. There's too much politics, and it's just I've disavowed going back.
And I think there are too many lawyers involved too. I think my sister got out of math teaching. She got out this year. She said, I'm done, because she felt like the school board was siding with the students instead of siding with her. She's like, I'm getting death threats. And like, but they're like, but the parents are going to sue us if we don't defend the kids. And I'm like, fuck.
Haven't you seen the there's a meme that one of my principals had on his wall that said like you got a picture of students in the 1960s with parents, and it said, hey, your teacher says something and the parents believe the teacher. And then in 2010 things changed, and so now they side with the student. And it's true. Like I know
you're talking about literally this meme. I know this one.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Explain these bad grades. Yeah, they used to be like, hey kid, you fucked up.
Yeah.
Now they go to the teacher like, what's wrong with the teacher? Which is like, they're just doing their job. They're not getting paid a lot of money either. Like, maybe you should like look at your kid and have some accountability.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man.
So I gotta say, it's been a journey.
Wow, that's cool.
I don't know if I could go back, and it's not even stuff like that, because like a lot of times when I was in the so like I remember teaching, and like a lot of my principals didn't like what I did in the classroom. So like a lot of the stuff I did for my master's, I found that principals didn't like because it was so different. Like I was actually taught to do sort of an inquiry based or not so much lecture based instruction.
I see, more like Socratic maybe.
Socratic's closer. If you watched any of the analysis course, it's closer to what I did.
Where you give problems and then the students do problems and you all do them together.
And they work on stuff. Yeah, it was
That's
like
smart.
that. And there's actually really good research suggesting this is good for students. But it was so different that I got admin pushback, and it didn't.
Yeah, they're like, that's not the way.
This is not the way.
You're like, this is the way.
Right?
Like, what?
Right. This is the way. Well, and even in various parts of my life, I've implemented inquiry-based things, because not just in teaching, because I find like even in parenting, I try to do. It's not perfect, but
it's active learning.
Much harder, I feel.
Oh
like.
yeah, I bet. Yeah. And you've had a lot of experience if you've had 5 of them.
Yeah.
That's quite the crash course.
It's quite the crash course. I mean, my oldest is 11, and
oh
my
wow,
youngest is 2 months. 2 months.
Oh,
Almost
okay. So
exactly.
10 year spread. My youngest sister's 10 years younger than me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
That's kind of interesting. Yeah. So yeah, they get, that's a full spectrum. Yeah. But I want to like, I always want to put this kind of in like whatever my like resume is for like dating or whatnot. I'd be like, I work very well, and I understand very well kids from the ages of like 12 to 18. Just with everything I've done in my Discord for the last 3 years, like I understand the kids. Get them to 12. I got us after that.
It is different. It is different when they're your own, though.
I bet.
I'm just saying.
I bet. How is it different? How do you think it's different? Is it because you can't like punish them as much, or what?
Well, no. It's because like when you're in a school, you have a different stewardship, right?
Sure.
Like you don't see them at home, so like when you come home, like you're the one ultimately responsible, which is really sort of different than being just temporarily for 60 minutes responsible or an 8-hour workday, right? Like you have more responsibility in some way.
I see. Like it's more of a outside the classroom. You're not just focused on like just what their stuff is. What's the Enigma saying? You were 24.
I'm not 24.
Dude, he would have had kids at 13, dude. What? I was like, it's not possible, but like, I don't know about that.
I was born. So if you want, I'll give you a little riddle here.
Okay, let's give a riddle. I like riddles.
Try and figure it out.
Let's do it.
I was born in the year the NES was first released.
Ooh. Okay.
You want to try and like trivia it up? Like,
yeah. Who's gonna get it? When was the NES first released? You can figure out how old Zach is.
There you go. It's not that hard.
It's literally a Google search.
But I want to make people work for it, right?
1996?
That's
No.
64. That's 64. Like I'm talking NES days. Like I wish sometimes,
there we go.
right?
This is the NES.
That's
yeah.
the one.
That's the
That's
one.
the one.
85.
Good guess. Good guess. Yeah, 85. That's me.
That's cool. I'm on the cusp. I'm 90. I'm like April of 90, so almost 90.
Okay.
80. I'm on the border.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, good.
All right, let's see. I
Cool.
think did we unpack all this? I forget. Like we started unpacking a lot of other boxes.
I don't think it's a waste. So back to the waste of time thing.
Yeah, good waste of time.
Let's do it. Of time. Like I don't know how to answer that because
he doesn't know yet.
Like I think about what the reasons I'm doing it, and one reason I think I did it, and in retrospect, like I don't think I could have said this at the beginning, but I needed some content knowledge that I didn't already have. Like what I'm doing on Twitch, for example, wouldn't be possible without having had that. Or some of the things they train you to do, the logical thinking, you really can't get in any other way. And it gives you some life experience. I now understand the bureaucracy so much better now. I came in thinking I wouldn't have so much bureaucracy.
I thought so too.
Wrong.
I was like, let me go to grad school. There are no politics. I'm like, there's no politics in grad school, right? I was wrong. So wrong.
How did I meet my wife? Oh gosh, we're gonna get like yeah. So let's see. How did we do it? I actually just asked her to ice cream. Like seriously,
nice.
My first date was literally just I said, hey, you want to go get ice cream? I want to go get ice cream. Let's go get ice cream.
Wow,
and we did it.
That's beautiful. It's just like shared interests. Like, do you like ice cream? Yes, I like ice cream. Cool. Let's share this experience together.
No, yes. It was just, do you like ice cream? I like ice cream. Let's go.
Oh, she didn't say yes. She just said, I like ice cream. Let's go.
She said yes, but like, we went and did that.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I met her in the same department as me.
Oh, okay. So wait, was she also a grad student, or was she? This was an undergrad, I guess, right? Because this was
an undergrad. So this was many like
epochs ago.
We were married in 2012, I think it was.
Okay.
So 2011. Sorry, I'm wrong. I have to do the math in my head.
He's like, I do so much math already.
I've number of years, and so I have to go. Anyway,
that's fine.
It was special. Yeah, no, thank you, Taco Cat. That's a good question.
Yeah, what does she do actually, if you don't mind asking? Like, you said you were both in math, I guess. Oh, she teaches. Okay, cool.
She teaches in the K-12, and she's looking to do like admin stuff. So
okay.
I
think that's the general progression.
Yeah, and it's not for everybody though. I would never go for admin. I hate that.
Politics.
The notion of doing that. Yeah, just
politics. Ew.
Just politics. Yeah.
Yeah, you're walking on eggshells.
But more power to her.
We need someone to do it.
I say do it. Yep.
But yeah, not a waste, because you got a bunch of experiences, right? It's helped you out with Twitch. I think it's for me personally, like grad school was a great lesson in self-motivation and like setting your own goals, because no one's telling you what to do, right? You have to just figure it out.
Some advisors will let you like hang yourself metaphorically, like they'll let you like they'll give you a lot of just leeway and flexibility to do stuff and say, well, yeah, if you want to just do all this, that's fine, but you've got to do it yourself. My advisor is very much like, okay, Zach, what are you going to do?
Oh, really?
I say, yeah, I'm going to do the thing. And she's pushing me to basically do it myself. And I'm like, yeah, that's about how the real world works.
That's how it works. You gotta do it yourself.
You got to motivate yourself. So
you do. Especially as a Twitch streamer, because a lot of like, you have to set your own schedule. You got to set your own goals. You got to set like, I want to hit this milestone. I want to do this, and then find a way to get to it. I kind of envy sometimes the kids that just go to med school, because I feel like their life is kind of on a train track, where it's like, okay, I go to med school, then I go to residency, then I go to fellowship, then I become doctor, and like everything's kind of like, it's hard, like it's not easy, obviously, but it's at least pre-planned. Whereas in our circle, right, of like grad students in STEM, you're kind of like, I don't know, like so here's a good question: do you know what you want to do after you graduate with your PhD, a postdoc or professorship?
Okay, I can tell you this much: I'm definitely not going to go into academia.
Yeah, same.
I've already sworn that off. And
I swore it off too.
Like there's oh gosh, what's the name of the lady? There's a video. And I'm not one to swear, but like the swearing here is there, but I think it captures the meaning of why I don't. I'm trying to think of.
Yeah, think of it. You're good.
It's the title of the video is called "My Dream Died and Now I'm Here."
My dream died and now I'm here.
And it's this physicist. You might be interested in this.
Oh, I will be interested for sure.
It's Sabine Hassenfelder, if you know her, from Germany, and I have it here.
I got it. Yeah, I'll post the link. It's 13 minutes. I'll watch it later, but
yeah, it's 13 minutes. But it's like Sabine. She gave this. Here it is.
Yeah, it's this one right here.
It is This video explains, I think, my frustration with academia almost to a T. There's so much more than. Anyway, it's 13 minutes. I don't want to watch it.
No, I will watch. I had a similar thing when I originally got into grad school for plasma physics because I wanted to save the world. I thought nuclear fusion. I still think nuclear fusion is the only way that we humans are gonna like not kill ourselves burning dinosaur oil.
My brother-in-law agrees with you.
Oh, good. Awesome. Yeah. No, fusion's great. And like, I got really passionate about it. I was like, cool, let's go do this. Let's save things. And again, I probably had the same opinions with you. I'm like, I don't want to go into corporate because that's a lot of politics. And there's no politics in academia. It's just the love of science, right? And then you get to grad school, and then, yeah, by year like 2 or 3, I start realizing, oh, this is a fucking rat race of writing grants and scooping people and doing people dirty and like withholding your data. And I was like, this whole system is kind of like messed up. And also, I saw the amount of delays. My ideas of grandeur of like, we're going to solve fusion, I was like, oh, this isn't happening for another 20 or 30 years. And I don't want to just sit around and do this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, I think she speaks to this a little bit, like exactly what you're saying. There's a lot of cynicism in how things get published, and anyway,
it's a dirty game.
It's a dirty game at times. It's also like it's not as bad as I make it sound. Like if you're going to grad school, just go in with your eyes open. That's like I guess what I'd say is recognize that there are going to be things that happen that you may question, and just know that they exist. That's all.
They always have these great memes. I'm trying to. Do you know the one I'm talking about where it says like what I want to do like, and as the years of grad school go on, like it starts off being.
I haven't seen that. No.
Oh, I need to find it. What was it? It's PhD dreams meme. There's a really good comic, right? What's he called? I forget what the guy's called, but
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know the specific one you're thinking of.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was. They have so many of these, but yeah, it's PhD comics. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
PhD comics. Yeah. This is what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of this guy. This guy's pretty good. So it says like the evolution of right before grad school.
Yes.
I'm gonna research whatever I want. I'm going to research whatever my professor wants, and then you become an assistant professor. I'm going to research whatever my tenure committee wants. Professor. I'm going to research whatever my grant committee wants, and then you become emeritus. Once you become an emeritus, which is you're basically dead at that point. You're like, now I can do whatever I want, and then it just ends right away.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I was explaining this actually the other day to a student I was teaching. She's very brilliant, very good at math. She's almost bored in her math in her high school. She's a sophomore, already taking calculus BC, and she's great at it. She's gonna go take vector calc at a college for her junior year, and then she's gonna graduate early. And then she's like, "What else left? What else is there left in math?" And I was like, whoa. There's a lot left in math. Like math is this infinite playground once you get to college. And then she's like, well, isn't it expensive? Won't I be poor? Like, won't I starve being a grad student? And I was like, wait, they do pay you to go to grad school. Like, you get paid, right, with a TA ship or something? Or at least your tuition's covered.
So, we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
Many grad students either have a TA or research assistantship.
GSR is what we call it.
Yeah, exactly. So you can get paid, and often if you do research, there's when your professor gets a grant, those grants help pay you. Like,
they have I need to support 3 grad students with my grant. Like, pay their salaries, please. Pay their healthcare.
Yep. And they get I think I have an 80-20 split on healthcare.
Okay.
Me, I get tuition paid. I get a stipend. Stipends for math and stats, it's actually pretty high. Like the STEM fields usually get better paid than humanities fields.
For sure. I don't even know if humanities PhDs get funding sometimes. I'm like, you got to be really generous.
Some do. It's usually a lot less though. It's about half of what a STEM graduate student.
There was a divide.
A master's student would.
between even masters for us don't get paid, but then also there's a huge divide, right, between experimental and theoretical, right? Experimental has all like the dark, defense money coming in and whatnot. They're like, go make some bombs, please, thank you. But then theoretical is like fighting for the scraps sometimes because DARPA doesn't understand 28 dimensions. They're like, we don't get this. They're like, how is this gonna help us beat the Chinese? Like, we don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. No, it's true. Like that. I mean, the money is where certain research, like. For us in our university, the teaching assistantships is how I've gotten paid almost every year.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten research funding over the summer, but only in the past 2 years because I hadn't really done much research up until then.
Sure.
But you'll get funded usually through grant money. You may I haven't had the joy of writing a grant proposal, but if you ever get that opportunity, you may in grad school.
Especially if you want to go be a professor, like you're gonna have to.
I was gonna say, you sort of have to.
I was wondering,
PhD.
Yeah, what does PhD stand for?
What does PhD stand for? Here, Bob Ross says, Doctorate of Philosophy. It's actually backwards.
Right? Yeah.
Right. It's sort of weird.
But like, what philosophy is our doctorate in? I think it'd be more like a BS, right? Which Bachelor of Science. Like, why isn't it like SD, like Doctor of Science, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and there's actually different kinds of degrees. I learned recently that you can get a doctorate of DA. That's a thing.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like a teaching degree only.
I
don't want that. But
there's education doctorate. It's like PH, or something.
Right, there's an EdD, which is an educational doc. Yeah, there's that one. There's like a JD for a jury.
Yeah, for the lawyers.
Law school.
Yep.
MD, medical doctor, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
What am I researching?
Yeah, what are you researching in math? Yeah.
So like I'm researching. You saw the Infinite Series, and I wrote that as my master's thesis. But then for my PhD, I'm currently I've got some things under wraps with that. It's not because it's super secret or anything, but it's just I'm trying to. I need to send out some surveys, and I'm doing some research in graduate departments. So I'll just leave it at that.
Cool.
I'll be a little bit more specific in the coming weeks. But it's about how graduate departments administer exams. That's like the short end of it. So and the policies and procedures, and no one's really touching this very much. So
wait, how are you saying how like in grad school the professors grade the grad students?
Yeah. So like for example, when you go to a PhD or a master's program, you take like a qualifier, right? You probably take your quals and all that, or your comps, that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So like those kinds of tests, I'm more interested in.
Ours is brutal. I remember at UCLA, they fail 30% the first year. It's devastating.
It's horrible.
I always wonder like why do they do that? Why do you fail 30% automatically? Like what? And they're like, it's the way it's been.
It's not even, and exactly that's sort of what the reason is. Actually, as I've been doing research. The answer is actually more there's not like a lot of research behind why people do what they do. It's just sort of like I just do whatever I want because I can, and I'm like, okay.
Well, the professors, I think they all get mean about this. They're like, I went through it, so you should go through it. I'm like, no, we can stop generational trauma. Right. We had a kid actually try to protest our comps. He walked out on it. Yeah. Yeah, he said this is bullshit. Like why is this whole thing depending on like this 2-day exam in a fields that we're not really even doing? Like our comp was it's a big exam on all the classes you took your first year, which is all general physics. So you're taking thermo, you're taking mechanics, you're taking quantum, and I don't touch that shit, right? Because I'm going into plasma later. But and it was ridiculously hard, and they failed 30%. And he said, I'm not going to be a part of this. I'm whatever. I'm protesting it. And he's like, who's with me? And I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like,
I don't know that it ended well. I can't imagine it did.
No, he got kicked out. He ended up driving for Uber, and then his life did not pan out as well as he wanted it to. But he was like, he's like, wouldn't it make such a statement if we all refused to take the exam? I'm like, yes, it would. But we've all made it this far to this point that I'm sorry, we're not gonna do it. Like, we're just gonna go through with it. Maybe if I don't know.
That's interesting. Yeah. I've not seen someone try to protest it like
yeah,
that.
He did. He said this is messed up, and I agree. Yeah.
No, there's some serious questions I have about like why we give these tests. We take enough coursework as it is here in the States, and even in the UK or like Europe generally, like there's a lot of different policies over there. Like a PhD over there means something different in some ways than what it does over here. So I know, for example, they're a lot more research focused in Europe.
You have to know your topic too coming into the program.
Yeah.
So in the U.S.,
Right.
I tell kids, I'm like, you don't have to know what you want to do as your PhD. But in Europe, they won't let you join a PhD unless you have an advisor and a project, which you have to basically get by doing a master's first.
Exactly. That's that's basically how I understand it. So
yeah. So I get it. This was the comic I wanted to show you earlier. This is the one.
Oh yeah.
Your life ambition.
Life ambition.
Like, world, here I come. Right, and this is of grad school. It's like I'm gonna win them.
How it feels.
It does, right?
That's unfortunate. This is so unfortunate that it's true.
Hope they have pepperoni pizza, dude. Like the free pizza at the end of grad school. You're just like, I'll do anything, dude. Do anything for some free pizza.
You will, and you know, like especially if you're not like married or anything, like you live off of just the social life among your fellow grad students. Like it's totally cool. And I still go to like events and stuff. I still go for the pizza. I am a lot older and still go for the pizza.
That's how you get people to show up to a conference or a seminar. Yeah. I'd be like, yo, ExxonMobil. So it's funny. In undergrad, I went to University of Texas and big oil and gas, right, in Texas.
Right.
And all the big oil execs would come in because the building we were in for physics was also the same building for engineering. And the oil execs would come in and throw these big, lavish fucking like, hey, come learn about Exxon. And they always had like deep dish pizza and like sandwiches. And so we would like have like a message network. Would be like, yo, floor 11 has like free extra sandwiches. Go down and get them, you know? I know you know the struggle.
Oh my gosh.
You know the struggle.
No, I know. I'm laughing because I understand.
Yes. Oh, it's too good. All right, that's a good first question. Let's move on to the next one.
Love it.
Nick, why do you like math so much, and what got you into math, and what made you get a PhD? Yeah, cool.
So like, this is the best answer I have as to why I like math is just it was the thing that caught my attention when I was 5.
Okay.
Like ever since I was 5, I just wanted to be know why. Like I just have this thing that like my kindergarten self loved it. So I've stayed with it though. Like you might ask, well, okay, that was your initial. That's how you got started, but like, why do you do it now? And I find like I like the channel name that I have, eToThe2iPi.
Yeah, you want to explain the significance of that a little bit? That's a cool one, right? It's a complex analysis.
I mean, it's a formula that relates, in my opinion, and actually in some others as well. The 5 most important numbers in the real numbers or in the complex numbers. You have E, you have I, and pi, and then you have 1 and 0. You can write those all 5 of those. You can say e to the I pi plus 1 equals 0, and you've just taken 5 numbers and related them. They're seemingly unrelated. That sounds so bizarre. Right? But there's this nice symmetry of rotation or expression of rotation in the complex numbers and trigonometry and so on. That's really, really
this
cool.
one we're talking about. This is for the non-math
right
people.
Yeah, I was going to say Euler's identity. And the more general version of this involves sine and cosine, where you can rotate at arbitrary angles, right? I chose that name because, number one, I see myself as an analyst or somebody who studies calculus. And sort of at a theoretical level. And even in today's presentation, I think there was, in 4 out of the 5 presentations I watched, because all the people in our class gave presentations, I saw some variation of this formula thrown in there. It just is ubiquitous. And I find that like it explains so much.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know if you've seen it in physics as well. Like just
we
this
do.
identity for Fourier transforms, right? Like, for example, that's one big area.
Tons of spectral analysis. Yeah, we use it all the time.
Exactly. Well, that's the whole thing, right? Is you're doing all this stuff with E and pi and stuff, and all this stuff like explains wave behavior. Like that's sort of cool.
And it's irrational, right? Because E is not a number that we can ever, and it just keeps going, right?
Right. And so like the genesis of this name, actually, I originally was e to the I pi on a family Discord. But then I changed over to 2iPi because I wanted to be positive.
I like that. Yes.
My brother-in-law gave me crap about being negative, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna change.
I'm gonna be positive.
Rebrand, right?
I like that. That's a nice rebrand. Like, cause it's subtle, but like if you get it, like those who know, dude. That's awesome. Yeah.
Okay, this is good though, Bob. You're addressing some stuff. What's the point of going to grad school when you're struggling to get food, and after you get your PhD, it's still hard to get a job? This is actually more true.
It's for the culture.
Than I wish it was.
We do for the culture.
Honestly, like I know I was just hearing some stories yesterday, or I do a lot of reading of news stories, and I saw people who I'm on LinkedIn a lot, and I'll read stories of people who are just struggling to find work right now. And that's like a general problem. It's not just like
it's a bloodbath.
PhDs. It's horrible. I mean, the layoffs on many tech companies, for example.
Two of my friends got fired last week. Yeah, everyone's getting fired.
It's just happening. This is so hard. I mean, I don't have a good answer to that question because that's like beyond my ability to one person to change it. But I've often wondered, like, what I have asked that same question, Bob. It's like, what am I gonna do, and why am I gonna do it, and am I gonna do it like? This is just on my mind since I'll be graduating sometime this year. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't have a good answer.
I think, you know, we do it because like we enjoy it, right? Like it's part of, it's our interest. I see friends, right, that got right out of undergrad and they went into oil, gas, whatever. Yes, secure job, you'll make 6 figures, but they hate what they do. Like they wake up, they got to deal with some bitch named Barbara above them who's like yelling about their emails and stuff. Like they are not having a good time. They're getting paid, and then they get home and they're tired and they have no time for anything else. And I'm like, are you working to live or living to work? So, yeah, I mean, the work is hard as a grad student, but you at least enjoy what you're doing. And I feel like you're contributing to society instead of, I don't know, just making some rich person richer. That's my, like, whole, like, take on it.
I wish that in some ways that's true. And I guess, Sabina, that video I want you to watch later is a little more cynical even on that front. You'd like to think it was an academic discussion, but actually, if you follow the money carefully, there's some things I wish didn't happen. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't have any good answers to that, Bob. I wish I had better ones. Yeah. It's sad though. I worry. Like I have siblings-in-law that are going into the workplace soon, and I worry for them. Like I genuinely do. Like the housing and the job security and so on. Like these are all issues that I don't know how. Like I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna solve them. Yeah, I think we're just kind of in a recession. I mean, we also have the same thing, right? With birth rates are going down, right? Because people just can't afford to have kids. I mean, good on you for having 5, but I feel like none of my friends have kids because they're just like, we can't afford it. Like what?
I understand. Like I mean, it is a struggle. And I mean, it comes down to like each couple, right? Like each couple's got to sort of do the thing that makes sense, what works in their sphere of influence.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Yeah. You make it work somehow. Yeah. Cool. Or at least,
I think free sandwiches from Arby's are part of all PhD. I wish
they are, dude. Yeah, Arby's was nice, bro. What? Like,
that's
top tier.
Upscale for fast food.
That's upscale for fast food, man. Yeah, we were like, yo, can I get some like Subway or something? So yeah. Oh, and so yeah, you wanted to get a PhD, I guess. So what was the?
It was sort of a motive. Well, I needed content knowledge that I didn't have. That much I did know. Whatever I did in the future, I needed to have more than I currently have. And that's one reason to go to grad school, I think.
Right.
Is to be better educated and aware, especially if you want to get to know like what's going on in the frontiers of modern progress, right? Like in scientific progress. So if you want to be involved in that, that's a reason to get a PhD, or to see what you can, what new things you can discover.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you're gonna.
There's another picture I've seen where you have a circle.
Yes,
and
the bubble.
Like you take the little your PhD makes a little small dent in the world. Yeah, that one exactly.
Yeah, this one's such a good one. Yeah, I love explaining this to people too because people are like, oh, and you just like, I'm like, no, you are but like a pimple that is just like.
That's right.
I think it's this.
But if you can even call it that, like it's not.
Where is it? No, it's not this one. This is it. Yeah. So yeah, the circle's like all human knowledge. Blue's like what you have at elementary school. Green's high school. Bachelor's degree. And the cool thing I like about this graphic, right, is that it shows that like, you know, in middle school, high school, you're learning everything. But once you get to like college, you start to like specialize a little bit more. You go in a direction. You know, you're like, I'm going to learn science or I'm going to do this.
Yep.
And then eventually masters and whatnot, PhD, you're hyper focused. And then that's your thesis right there. It just expands the knowledge a little bit. Yeah,
that's right.
Cool. That's cool. Nice. That's a good question.
So yeah, I like
it. We're also gonna have repeat questions. It's okay. We'll just move on to what ones are unique.
Yeah, no problem.
Here we go. Was there a point in your life where you didn't or you were never good at it? Like you weren't good at math?
Oh my gosh. Let's go there.
Let's go there. Like when did you have the moment? I know when I had my moment when I was like, oh, I'm bad at this.
So by the way, Bob Ross is I do have 5 kids. That's right. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify, just
Good.
to put
Good.
away that. But as a fourth grader, I was a fourth grader, and in my fourth grade school program, one quarter of the year, we were put into groups based off of ability and whether you needed help with addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. I was good at all four, so I got put in a special advanced group where we did math, and I failed it.
Oh, really?
I actually got an F, a legit F.
Oh, no.
In math, and there are reasons for that F, but I think I stand by the fact that yes, I failed math, and even in the classes I'm taking right now, I do not feel the most qualified. There are many times, and this is a far more frequent experience than I wish it to be, where I walk into a lecture and I have. Do we lose you?
No, he's good. He's good. Yeah.
Okay, you're good. Okay, I didn't see you for a second.
No, I see.
So,
yeah. Well, I'm changing the Twitch is apparently lagging, so I'm killing the Discord real quick to see if it's the bandwidth. Yeah. Keep going. You're good.
Yeah, no, it's fine. So so even in my classes right now, I struggle to follow the lecture. Like I genuinely sit there and I'm like, I don't know what the heck the professor's saying, and like I don't know when to ask questions because the professor sometimes goes very fast and wants to cover certain content, and so there have been very few problems this semester that I've been able to do without help. Actually, I have to get help from like friends, and your study groups that you make are super important. I advocate for those deeply, even if you're not a grad student. That's not like a grad student only advice. It's something that I offer more generally. It's something I don't know if I regret not doing more of it, but I think in the past, but I think I would use study groups now far more than I would have back then.
Yeah. Study groups.
I've seen the value of them.
Learning from your peers is how I got through grad school. Honestly, it's how I got through some undergrad
how you have to do it. Yeah. Like
make friends.
Professors will write hard tests, and sometimes you'll be fortunate to have an open book, open friend test.
Open friend test. Yeah.
It's true. Like those are
they happen.
Nice. Open book and open.
Well, because that's how the real world works. The real world works, right? With getting help from resources, other people, like making those connections. It's not just you with nothing else, just trying to figure something out. But I think it could also be maybe like hard for students, especially today, to be able to like make friends, especially like when they had to go through COVID. Especially if like you started undergrad during COVID. That was a very formative time for me in college to like make my friend group of like here's how we get through this.
Oh my gosh, that's hard. Like I mean that's like you those who are currently in undergrad or are preparing to go in undergrad, you have it hard. Like I mean, especially during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have no other words there. But yeah, I still struggle, and I feel I joke this. I take this from a what's it called? A TED Talk I watched once, where a lawyer got up and said, I am the graduate in the part of law school that made the top 90% possible."
That's too funny.
I like to say that about my program. I feel like that's where I rank. To rank all the grad students. It's sort of useless to put metrics on people, but
I agree.
that's sort of I jokingly like to say that. I feel like it.
That's too funny.
I'm in the lower 10%. That's another way of saying it.
Actual annoying son living the dream. Oh, Uller Uprising has kids too, does he? I guess, yeah.
Apparently, Uller has kids, so that's cool.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Obama's got a question here. What math APs did you take in high school, and do you recommend any? Is there any specific genre of games you like to build? Ooh, we'll talk about the games, right? And have you ever gotten overwhelmed? Yeah, let's go piece by piece. You're good.
I'm looking at this question. So APs, I took. So here's another sign bad at math. I took AP Calculus, AB, and BC.
Okay.
And they didn't offer the pre-calculus back when I was taking.
Yeah, I didn't have AP pre. That's a new one for me too. I'm like, what? There's AP pre-calculus? What is this?
Right, it's a thing. But I scored a 1 on the AP exam for AB.
Oh, really?
And then I did. I scored a 1.
Oh no.
So and on the BC exam that I took the next year, so I got a B in the class, I think it was, and I on the BC exam I got a 2.
Oh wow.
So. and the AB subscore was a 3. So like I did not do well. I was very much bad at math. And
is it just because you had bad teachers, you think, or what? What did you think was the reason?
So this is a whole nother story. Because when I don't know how I graduated high school, but here's just a fun fact of me. I graduated high school in 3 years.
Okay.
And the way I'm pictured in my high school yearbooks, my first high school yearbook is me pictured as a junior. The second one was pictured as a sophomore, and the third one was as a senior.
Oh, so you just skipped. And you time traveled.
Well, in a way, yeah, but like legitimately. That's the order things went in. And the way it actually worked was I earned in middle school, I got half of high school done.
Okay.
I was just super ahead.
Yeah, you were super ahead.
And so I got half the credits you need to graduate. So I get put junior at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Mid-year, the counselors come to me and say, yeah, we're not going to accept those credits because you did them in middle school. So they demote me to freshman.
Oh, no. They try to pull you back.
Right. But the yearbooks have been printed, right? So I've already been...
So you show up like twice. You show up like twice.
Right? So then I become a sophomore the next year. The counselors come back and say, well, you took AP chemistry, so we're going to give you regular chemistry credit for... And we're going to give you pre-calculus because you took calculus in high school. So we'll give you pre-calculus free. And through a few of those things, I got to be a senior the next year.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you were like, okay, I get to level up. Nice.
So it worked out. And I took some summer classes in a community college and made up some English credit and a Spanish credit. And I think that got me... I did some independent study. So my PE class in high school, I didn't take PE, except it took a bowling class and a cycling class.
Oh,
and that counted as my
are you
PE.
good at bowling? Are you like a good bowler?
My best score is a 150. You can decide whether that's good or not.
I think I barely get over 100. The 150 is good.
Drew Carey though is a good bowler.
Oh, that's cool.
That's a fun fact. He has a 250 ring, which means he has an average of over 250.
Holy shit! What's the maximum you can get in bowling? Is it 280?
I think it's 300. You get
300
12 strikes, and that ends up being 300.
Oh wow, that's cool.
So,
yeah, I took a lot of APs as well, and I always tell the kids to take as many AP classes as they can in high school because the credit you get. So first of all, the AP exams are easier than doing it in college. So if you get AP credit for calculus in high school, that's a lot easier than trying to get that same college credit in college for a number of reasons. I mean, one, you're dealing with 300 kids in a massive lecture hall, and you're not going to get taught very well. It's also more rigorous. And so I have a student in my server, actually, who, for whatever reason, the teacher told him not to take the AP test, and I was like,
really?
And he's a smart kid, right?
Wow.
I'm like, you really should. And he's like, yeah, I fucked up. I should have taken it. I was like, yeah, because he's in calculus now at USC as an undergrad, and it's like nightmare mode. Like he's got one of those math professors that just wants to like test for like who is the savant here, like who is going to be the next Terrence Tao or something. And yeah, so I tell kids, do as many AP classes as you can. Make the sacrifice in high school. You'll enjoy it so much more in college. I came in with 60 credit hours. I came in as a junior in college because I had so many AP credits. So yeah, I tell the kids, go take AP tests. Do them. They're worth it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's
talk about the games.
Second part of this question.
Yeah, let's talk about the games. Yeah, what are the games?
So,
like board games? Do you like 40K? Like, is that?
So I don't really build those, but
Okay.
I was a software developer for 4 years to help pay for my undergrad.
Okay.
That was my job, and that's a sweet gig if you can get it. Like I'll be honest, that I got paid probably double the average college salary that you might get at like a cafeteria or something like that.
Oh wow.
Or like janitorial or something like that. So it was really nice, and what made bank, I feel like comparatively. But so I like to do more software development, gaming, that kind of thing. The kind of stuff I like to build is sort of like what Jackbox offers. Jackbox games, like
we love Jackbox.
I'm interested in like interactive stuff like that. So I've actually wanted to build some things for my stream. And I won't say too much right now because
it's in the works. It's in the works.
On the back burner. It's in the works, and I have some projects that hopefully will debut in December. If I can get the whole thing working. And maybe even earlier than that.
And you can leverage, I guess, your software development skills to kind of get it done, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm excited to do it. I've actually built this project once before, in-person classes, but I
Okay.
don't want to say much more than that right now.
That's okay.
Just
It's okay.
because
What do you code it in,
gotta-
by the way? I'm just curious. Is it Python?
Oh my
or-
gosh! Well, it's a web app, right? Like a lot of the things
Oh.
now will be web apps. So you have to do
Yeah.
MySQL,
SQL,
PHP,
yeah.
HTML, CSS, JavaScript.
Yeah.
You got to learn like a gaming library and stuff like that. Like there's a lot to it. It's
And where do you host
That's
them?
a whole nother stream that we can talk about.
Yeah.
But,
The gaming stream.
like I was gonna say, if we talk gaming stream, I mean, if you want details, maybe I'll build part of this project on stream. Maybe
That would be cool.
we'll see.
I think people would love to. I have another guy in my server. His name's Sensation Black. If Sensation, if you're watching, but his job is, or not his job, but how he makes money is he buys old gaming consoles that are broken off of eBay and then he fixes them. So he buys old SNESs,
nice.
right? And I told him, I'm like, bro, why don't you just turn your webcam, because he streams a lot, but he streams himself like just trying to learn for like a state testing exam. I'm like, I think you'd get a lot more viewers if you just turned your webcam on when you were fixing gaming consoles. That people would
That
love
sounds
to.
like fun. I mean,
Right?
that's awesome.
Yeah, if people would love to come in and see the nostalgia and see what you're doing, and I think that's the beauty of what Twitch offers, is that you can be like, hey, come into my world and like see what I do, and people get inspired. It's very cool.
What are the circle things behind me? This was a
yeah.
problem from last night. I almost erased this, but this
This
was a
looks like
problem we
Settlers
did
of
on stream
Catan
last night.
almost.
Yeah, in a way. There's this thing about, what was it, Japanese triangles, I think is what they were called, and we
Okay.
found ninja paths, and we were trying to find ninja paths in here. So I don't actually fully remember all the details. I just have this on the board from last night. I was pretty tired when I went to bed last night, so I'm going to try and look at it on stream tomorrow. If you want to come to stream, come 10 a.m. Mountain, and we'll.
Oh yeah.
we'll
Let me
play
shout
with
you
this
out.
maybe.
Let me shout you out as well. Will it work? I forgot how this works. Shout out at. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So yeah, if you're new and just coming in on the Twitch, we have Zach eToThe2iPi here, who's our special guest, and yeah, he runs his own Twitch channel. So please go give him a follow. Like, he's super cool. He does a lot of awesome math help. You guys play games, and then you also run courses, I guess, which is really cool.
Yep. Yep.
What is this? I you don't have to go too much into this. I'm just curious. Like, what am I looking at here?
So I think what it was, you've got a triangle with 3 rows in it, and the rules are you get to shade one of the circles in each row, only one, exactly one, and you have to find. I gotta remember what it was. It was something about how to get from top to bottom. You can draw a path, and what's the maximum number of circles you have to cross. Or you can cross with a given number of rows.
So if it's a ninja path, don't you want the least amount you can cross or something, right? Are you
would
trying to
think, right?
Right? Is that being a
You'd think
ninja?
it was
You're
a
trying to be
ninja path.
sneaky.
That would make more sense.
Right?
That's not how it was. Yeah.
That's how it was presented.
Actually,
All right.
my paper's coming along quite nicely. Nice.
Yeah. So Jamarcus is another. So I have a couple of kids who are like super. I would say like self-motivated to like learn math and science.
Yeah.
And he's one that is in a program. He's only in 8th grade. And he's learning about, I think it's quantum physics or something. He has to write a research paper on quantum physics in 8th grade. I think that's very cool.
Oh yeah! Wow. Well, props
Kinda
to
says,
you.
You're trying to find the path with the most red circles. Oh.
That's right. And I believe Kaine was here in stream last time, so that's exactly right.
Oh, interesting. That's a cool problem. Japanese triangles. I want to make some Japanese. I don't think it counts as a research paper because I'm not really doing any research. No, but that counts. So that's called a review paper,
counts.
right?
It does.
It's a review paper. That's what it is. Yeah.
Just taking existing things. Well, that's still research. You're still learning new things, right?
Yeah.
It's new to you.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. And even so, I mean, even in grad school and whatnot, some people write papers which are called review papers, where all they do is summarize what is all the current work, because someone has to do this. There are papers coming out every day. And sometimes you need some authority in the field to be like, okay, here are the 5 most important papers out this year, like detailing our advancements in the knowledge of turbulence or something. And then he summarizes them all together, and that's still research. You're not discovering something new, but you're putting it together and putting an opinion on it and packaging it in a way that like helps. Yeah, it's a good thing.
And there's room for that. Can I just say?
Yeah.
I really think there's something about science communication, especially.
Yeah.
That if you can communicate an idea, like I'll just give a shout out. If you don't know who Mark Rober is, you should know who Mark
Rober.
is,
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he is a YouTuber who does really cool things with science. He's a really good science communicator.
Okay. Oh yeah, he's kind of like a Neil deGrasse Tyson, but like
Yeah,
younger, I guess.
Neil deGrasse Tyson's another in a very different way. Like they both
for
have
physics.
different niches.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Mark Rober's more engineering. I should
Wait,
say.
is this the guy with the glitter bomb? Is it the glitter bomb guy?
Yes, that's the one.
Oh!
Yes.
I love this guy.
That's the one. Yeah. So like him, Veritasium we mentioned earlier.
Veritasium's another good one.
A physics girl was another one. Unfortunately, she is.
Yeah, she's like not doing
health
okay.
Issues.
She's like really not okay.
And I'm really like I was really sad to hear that she's not doing so well. So like but like there's a whole bunch of science communication, and these people who are pushing science content out there, that's important. We already know most of the science they're telling us. Like that's not like new research in many cases, but there's something to be said about being able to say it in a way that many people can empathize with.
Right.
And there's a book on communication that's like super fascinating if you know who Alan Alda is. This is a really old actor. If you've seen the TV series MASH.
Okay, yeah. Which is the Korean War or Vietnamese War?
Yeah, that's the one in Korean War. Yep.
Yeah.
And he was one of the actors and started in he wrote a book about basically why improv comedy helps science communication. And it's a really fascinating read. It's sort of it's one of my favorite books as far as communications. So that's something you can look up.
Very cool.
Meta-analysis. That's another way to say it.
Yeah. Maybe. Have you ever gotten?
It's called meta-analysis. That's right.
So someone asking also, have you ever gotten overwhelmed by the amount of things you have to balance in your life? Right.
Oh my gosh.
You do a lot
yes.
of things,
you can imagine with 5 kids.
Yeah, you're a family man too. Dude, I can't even imagine.
I was gonna say nothing of, but even among. So what's the meme that you can pull it up? It's the one where you have the triangle and a hexagon.
Yeah. Is it the?
To pick 2.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So there's a triangle that has 3 points, and for undergrad you get to pick 2 out of the 3. Yeah. And I'll let Gold pull it up.
Is it this one?
I got to see which one he got. I can't. The stream's a little delayed, so
one second. Yeah,
wait for it to catch up.
Again. Let me see if I can stream it again. We were having a little.
I have enough of a delay that I can't tell.
There we go. There you go. I'll try that.
We go. Yes, that's the one. That's the one. That's exactly the one.
Oh man, so social life, TA, RA jobs. Pick one and expect to fail at it. Oh god.
That's honestly how it feels. Like that's how it feels every day. It's like I have all this stuff. The clinical skills not so much for me, but like
I guess that's maybe for like med students or something.
Maybe for med students, but it's totally true.
Oh man. Yeah.
Man.
I mean, the way to balance things, right? I think is I schedule a lot. So like what I use, I literally use a planner like this that I write. I have probably 30 of these because they're only 12 weeks long, and I've used them for the last 6-7 years. Yeah, no, I do. I have so many of these because I've used them like religiously to like plan my life out because I have so many different things that I do. You know, I have the stream here. I do. I also throw raves in the desert. I make gold clothing. Like I DJ. I do music. I do a lot of stuff. And this is the only way I can keep like myself straight, being like, okay, today is Wednesday, you know, this is my day to do this. And then like Thursday, for instance, I don't stream on Thursdays because Thursday is my one break from Twitch where I'm like, okay, go take care of all the other stuff you got to do. Like, I can't imagine also having like kids. Your wife must be a fucking rock star. Like
she's a rock star. I will
5
say,
kids,
like,
and she's employed. She's not just a full-time mom.
Right.
That's nuts.
Well, and we do a lot of stuff. Like, I mean, it's a balance. Like you have to. So on Sundays, for example, we take time to literally do as you're doing. We plan. Like we have an executive council meeting.
You're like, let's get together. Let's figure this out.
Like, we get together and we're gonna figure this out for an hour or two, and just like talk through because there's a lot to talk through. Like you have to talk through scheduling. You have to talk through finances. Talk through like all the stuff. So I mean, there's a lot to plan.
Oh wow, and all the parent-teacher conferences too, probably, right? You're just like, like, where are the kids in school?
Well, I think that falls on me. I'm the one who takes the teacher conference.
Okay, there you go.
You know, we divide it up. So like, she'll do some things and I'll do some things.
Do you have this thing where you have like department of this, department of this? Like, I'm the department of driving. Like, you're the department of like cooking. Yeah.
Like I'm the department of finance, you know, and got like the department For any like medical stuff, she'll take him to doctor's appointments.
Okay, cool. So she has
like there's ways to split up the labor.
Yeah. Jamarcus asking, quick question: what is your opinion to learn coding effectively for free at home?
So here's the thing, and this is the phrase that's used in LinkedIn. They call it tutorial hell. And the reason you call it tutorial hell is because you'll get into a tutorial, you'll watch a tutorial and say, make this project. And then they'll say, that, like, you'll do this project, and then you're like, well, I didn't remember any of that.
Right.
And the reason is because you just went through the motions and copied what the person was doing. That's not very helpful.
You're not actually using
it. What you should do. Right. So what you do is you pick a project you do want to make. And this is actually how I learned to code. I told you I made games I wanted to make. And I was like, I'm going to make them. I'm just going to do it. And I found Instructables that did similar things. But even those Instructables weren't very good. And I learned a ton. Like you learn a ton just by trying to figure out. Just by doing the thing. Like you need a basic thing to start with. So watching the tutorials can be helpful at the beginning. But after that, once you do like one or two of those, don't buy another one. Don't go to Coursera or YouTube or whatever. Yeah. Like don't do any of that. Just go and start making the thing. And if you don't know how to make the thing, start using Stack Overflow. Right?
Yeah, they have so many resources to find stuff. I had to use like C++ for Dummies, like a book. When I was like, wait, how am I going to use this? I have to use a book.
Right. Well, and that's honestly, like, I've got all this. You get really good at using the internet to find, and your question, in my case, one of the questions I had to answer, no one could answer for me. Like, there was no one that was doing what I was doing. So I'm like, well, okay, I sort of have to invent my own solution. And that gets really interesting too, because then you're doing research in a way, right?
Yeah.
Anders, I see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, what's up, Anders? Good to see you, Anders. I had the same story. Like, I learned to code because I learned to code on this. I learned, you know this has a language to it, right? It's TI Calc Basic.
Yes,
it's basically basic. I wanted to code like a text like RPG game. I forget what I called it. It was similar to, I don't know if the kids remember, well, whoever's, way back in the day, there was a game called Pimp Quest, which I'm sure would not be PC friendly these days, but it was the most popular game on the TI. It was called Pimp Quest. And I wanted to make like my own version of it, but I forget what it was about. It wasn't about pimps, but that's how I learned how to code. And because I was like, I want to make a game. This is going to be cool. I'm gonna figure it out.
Was it like a text-based RPG or RPG?
Yeah, it was like a text-based RPG, but it had an inventory system. It had health, like it held variables and stuff. Like you made decisions. Yeah, I say the same thing about languages when people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna go on Duolingo and learn a language." I'm like, "Cool, you're not really gonna remember it." Like if you want to learn a language, you have to have a reason to learn the language. So maybe that's you want to watch your favorite anime or something, or you have a friend that you want to talk to. You know, that's what I would say.
So we mentioned the church earlier, right? Like my religious life, and so one reason I actually went to missionary.
Sorry, where'd you go? For your missionary?
South Korea.
Oh, South Korea! Oh, awesome! I love South Korea.
So I learned Korean, right? Like you learn Korean there, and that's sort of a motivator, right? Like that was the motivation. I had to go learn how to share stuff about my church in Korean, and so you have a motivation to do something, right?
Yeah.
Whereas there was a time where I learned Chinese and that was a lot harder because I had no reason to learn Chinese.
Yeah, you're like, I'm just learning it just to learn it.
I'm just started doing it. Or I learned Japanese in undergrad just because I wanted to, and I just didn't have the same motivation. But when I had a practical need for something,
I
learned the language a lot better.
I agree.
That was one facet, at least, I feel.
Yeah, having something to do. I had that with, I took 4 years of Italian. I mean, being Italian heritage, I'm like, I should take the language of my heritage. But while I was taking, I made sure, like, every Friday to go to, it was called Tavola. It was like a club that you were only allowed to speak Italian at. And so, like, I went to this club, and it's like, if I wanted to talk to someone, I had to speak the language. So I had to learn it. So, yeah.
And back to the question Bob Ross has asked. What's the highest level math? So the thing here.
What's the penultimate
I think that's
math?
really sort of, it's sort of silly to ask that question. And I'm not saying that that's a stupid question. I'm saying that the question acknowledges a bias we have that a higher number somehow means it's a harder class, right? Like you see Math 2000 and you're like, oh wow, Math 2000 must be really hard. I'm teaching a Math 2000 class, or 2010, I think is the number. And the class is for elementary educators. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So like it's for people. It literally, and I was grading the final, and if you were to look at it on face value, all it is doing elementary level math. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but on Math 1220 at our university is Calculus 2, which is much harder than 2010. So this number system doesn't mean what you think it does.
It doesn't really work.
Right? Like it doesn't. I think that's sort of silly that we say, oh, this math is harder. There certainly is a level of abstraction, though. So when you climb the abstraction ladder, like the more symbolic manipulation you do, the more formal the thing is. Mm-hmm. So if you're able to reason geometrically about something or visually, and there's intuition behind something, that's not always, but usually less abstract than just dealing with pushing symbols around. And so in some senses, higher forms of math could be considered abstraction, but what does that really even mean anyway? Like different people, there's different. You might think Italian's and like they're really both just two languages, and I look at it as two languages rather than saying one's
harder than the other.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I would say also like within math, there's this interesting thing, right? Where the harder the classes get, the easier the names sound. It's like deceptive, right? You start getting up and you're like, oh yeah, I'm just taking algebra, and I'm like, wait, didn't we take that? Didn't we take that in like middle school or something? And they're like, no, this is algebra.
So I had that misconception. Like I was browsing my university libraries in undergrad, and I saw these algebra books, and every time I'd open one, I never saw X. Right?
Yeah, you're like,
what?
Like
2x plus 7, and I'm like, where the heck is the 2x plus 7 equals 9? I want my algebra, and it wasn't any of that at all. I saw things about groups and rings and fields, and like, what the crap is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Anders' answer here might be considered. I don't even know if that's the highest form of math. And welcome at Thunderchild.
What did Anders say? Specialist, renowned person. Wait, what did he say was the highest form? Also, Anders, his text is black, which is so hard in my dark mode. Like I can't see what his thing says. Hey guys, what's up, Thunderchild? Yeah, thanks for finding us. I think we finally hit 900 followers. Wow, thanks, dude. Thanks for pushing us.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
you made it. I saw you at 899 on Wednesday.
Yeah, I've been at 899 for a couple days. I need one more. I need one more follow. Yeah, I want to try to get.
I had a friend. I told a friend today to come follow you. One of my grad student friends. So you should get hopefully somebody to.
Oh yeah, we're getting.
It looks like we got our 900th. That's awesome. Nice.
That's awesome, dude. Thanks, man. Yeah. Kaine says, if you guys had to learn math all over again, what would you do? Yeah, what would you do if you had to learn all over again?
Yeah. What? Oh gosh.
Oh gosh. They love this question. The kids always ask this. They always say like,
oh my.
They always say like, what's your biggest regret? And I always say there's no regrets. There's only experiences. You know. Yeah. Thanks, Dr. L. Appreciate that.
Yeah. I was gonna say welcome to the chat. I've seen you around, Doctor. Glad you're here.
Yeah.
So I think. I'm sort of befuddled because now I'm like, as I'm thinking about all the degrees I have, I've often thought about like, what am I going to do when I graduate? I know this doesn't sound related, but I think it is.
Yeah.
Because when I graduate, I don't have classes to take anymore, right? Like I have this problem of like, what do I do now? I've already taken all the classes, and I say that in air quotes. But what do I do? And I think it's following like what you're interested in at that point. Like I get to choose what I study, not just be told what I'm supposed to study.
Sure.
But if I had to go back, the thing I guess what I encourage you to do is look for interesting problems.
Okay.
And I honestly think, and this goes back to that tutorial help programming. Some people will read books and say, "Oh, well, I know everything about this because I did the book." And actually, I had somebody on my, is it good? Like, they showed me this this playlist from YouTube of real analysis. It said, "Hey, can I learn real analysis just by videos?
Just by watching
not doing the
videos?
exercises?" And,
no.
And I'm like, that's not going to work. Like, it doesn't work that way. You just
learning by osmosis is not a thing. I mean, this is why you have in your class, right? You have people doing questions. Like, it's very important to be actively involved.
And I'm there to help, right? Like,
sure.
I'm not here to just throw you to the wolves, but there's something to being able to work through something And that's sort of what we do on my stream is and I don't mean to be like self-promoting here.
No, please do. No, you can self-promote all you want here.
I know that, but I mean this in the sense that like one reason I started the channel was because I wanted to show people authentic problem solving as much as I could.
I like that.
And to like try and model that so that people could see someone who's a PhD genuinely struggle with something that I've never seen before. I want that struggle life in some ways, so I can help you see how to solve something you've never solved before.
Teaching the process, like teaching the thought of like, here's how we solve problems.
Yeah, and that's sort of the idea behind all stuff is, why I'm doing Twitch at all is to like help and like when we do these classes, the idea is to take the problems and just play with math.
Yeah.
I would play with an idea. One of my favorite ideas is about dot and cross product. Like in physics, when you talk about the dot and cross product,
sure.
And you learn this little mnemonic about K, determinant, and all this crap about
like whatever the trick. Yeah,
you've seen the thing, and I was really frustrated by that, and I was put in a situation where I had to teach it, and I was like, I'm not going to use this IJK method, so I went and played with this, and I played for hours because I had to teach this content, and I finally found this cool visualization where I was able to explain the algorithm in a different way, but that still was equivalent to this other algorithm. And that sense of discovery for me was really cool because I'm like, oh, that's what math feels like. That's what discovering math feels like. Like understand the thing and be able to convey it in a way that like feels intuitive.
Right.
And students come back and we're like, oh yeah, that was a really cool way of showing that. My friends in the section were using this other method and they were making mistakes, but we didn't make mistakes here. Like doing it this way. And it's sort of rewarding when you hear things, right? So just playing with an idea is really powerful.
Yeah, I agree. Teaching the process of it. Yeah. Oh, I think the chat's saying maybe. Do you have a gate on your mic?
I have this thing. I have a pop filter. If that's what you mean.
No, but, like a software gate. Do you use a software gate in Discord?
Gates, yeah.
Oh, no software gates. Okay,
no.
it's probably fine. Yeah,
no software gates.
It cuts out every once in a while.
It's
but
been
it's
known
okay.
to happen in my chat though.
It
could be the fact that I use Linux or something.
Linux master race though, dude. Yeah. No, but I like what you talk about. I love that that's what you want to do with your stream is that you want to show that, hey, I'm a math grad student. Like I'm supposed to be this almighty, powerful math person. And even I still struggle. And that's perfectly normal. That's perfectly natural. And this is how we attack problems. Because it gives you like a relatability. I feel like when professors go up there and they solve problems, you think this person's God. And you're like, oh man, like how they're doing it, like I'd never be able to do that. But it's cool to like bring yourself to their level, be like, hey, no, I'm just like you. I'm trying to figure this out. And like sometimes, it happens.
And there are that doesn't mean that you like don't go on without a plan. Like sometimes, like I know that there's some irony in the quote that I shared and I said was advice.
Yeah.
Sometimes having no script, having no idea what's going to happen next.
Yes, I love that.
Might be the best way to go.
I love that.
It's like there's some irony in what I'm just saying that I should have a plan, but I should not have a plan, right?
Yeah.
And I think what the principle here is you shouldn't plan too much.
Yeah.
Like you want to have an idea of where to go, but sometimes you're led in a different direction, and that is all that makes things better, right? Like in lots of ways. So
I love that you also had a Robert Frost quote. That's one of my favorite Robert Frost quotes, by the way.
Yeah.
The other one you put here, I'll put it on the screen.
I'm looking up at my wall right now. I've got these two things. And they're one's a frame and one's just a piece of paper. But those two things, the road
I love
not
this
taken,
one. Yeah, 2 rows diversion of wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. My dad made me memorize this when I was a kid. He made me memorize this quote. He was like, I don't know, part of whatever parenting. He's like, hey, we're gonna memorize a poem or something. And so I do take this one to heart. Is that like, always kind of go down the not beaten path. Forge your own little thing. You'll figure it out. This is also why we can't go into like academia, probably, right? Or bureaucracy, because like we get slapped.
That's right.
Just, like,
well,
no.
And exactly right. Exactly. No.
And then, this is the one you're talking about. Sometimes having no script, having no idea what is going to happen next, having no map might be the way to go. I like that. That's very cool.
And there's some, like I just ran into it this year. I was on, again, LinkedIn, and the Mathematical Association of America was celebrating, I think, Black History Month, and just had some fun quotes. And this was one of them, and I was like, dang, this is sort of cool. I'd never heard this, and it like mirrors my personal theory that life is an improv game, Like we're playing an improv game. We have to play yes and all the time, right?
Yes,
like
and
that's all we do is we play yes and. So
that's too funny. Sorry. I don't. What is the yes and? What's yes and as the game?
Okay,
that?
So I don't know you know about improv comedy, but the way it works
there's like a prompt and like you have to go along with it or something, right?
Right. You sort of have to go along with it. So if somebody says, "Oh, I'm this," so I'm going to act like say you have a guy and a girl, and you have a scene, and the girl starts acting as the guy's wife, and you have to sort of the guy would have to play along with that.
Sure. Okay.
Take what's given to him and say, "Okay, I'm going to do that," and then the guy's going to make a choice, and that choice the girl has to respect, right? So there's a sense in which we both are symbiotically.
And you also want to set up something for your friend to like not have something difficult, right?
Exactly.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So you have to like life is a game of yes and you have to sort of roll with it. Like that's sort of the sense in which I'm talking about this quote.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool. Yeah, like we can't affect the cards that are dealt to us, but we can always choose how to play them. It's kind of like in poker, right? You can get a shitty hand, but you can still win if you know how to play a shitty hand.
You know how to play it, yeah. I was gonna say, but for the record, I'm horrible at poker. Played a little bit, and you think that I'm like
you're a math guy, right? You shouldn't be like
probability mastermind, and I'm not good at poker. I've lost every hand I've played.
Oh wow! I can't lie. I'm bad at lying. Yeah. I'm a bad liar.
I really am. Yeah. So like we missed a question here.
Yes, sorry.
Bob Ross has talked about being gifted or born really good at math.
Oh, good.
So like it's something you can get better at, and I think you've mentioned this, Dr. Gold, about a neuroplasticity, like the ability the brain can change, and so there's a very real research basis about this, and having what is often phrased as a growth mindset.
Sure,
but it's something I fight with my kids because like some people are like, I'm so bad at X, and then I'm like, no, you're not good at it yet. Just adding the word yet.
Yeah, not yet.
It's like,
not good at yet.
You're not good at it. I'll agree. Right now, you're not very good at it, but
it's okay.
You can get better at it, and I think that that's something that can be developed. Certainly in math, but in many other, that's not just unique to math.
I think things sometimes come quicker to people, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with saying that like some people have natural ways. Like I know some students who have aphasia with numbers, so they see colors when they see numbers. Or not aphasia. Sorry, what's that called? Aphasia is when you can't see.
I know what you're talking about.
Synesthesia.
Okay.
Yeah, synesthesia is where like
I didn't know that word.
Yeah, it happens in music. So some people see music as colors. That's the classic synesthesia. Yeah, but I know some people that they see numbers as colors, and when they can do that, of course, like you have a different wiring in your brain that is going to make processing that information a lot easier. But I feel like everyone can learn math. I know it's a classic cliche thing, but like, yeah, you just have to stick at it. It's okay.
I played some mock blackjack with friends today, and I lost the equivalent of 10 grand in 10 minutes. That's horrible. I'm sorry for you.
Yeah.
That's about what would happen to me, honestly.
Well, but blackjack is strictly probability. So the nice thing with poker gets a lot into emotions. There's a lot of like psychology. There's a lot of bluffing and whatnot. Blackjack, you're just playing against the dealer. Like that's just straight.
I just went in all in no matter what.
Dude, you can't do that.
It's honestly, that's probably something I would pull. Just to end the game for myself. I probably would be so bad that I'd just end the game and say, you know what, I'm done. Have all my money.
This did happen. I remember seeing some report about there was a university that had a poker AI competition, and they had 2 hours to build a bot, and the guy just wrote this out. If is my turn is true, go all in. And he says it broke all the bots because he just went in on every hand, and all the other bots were programmed to like fold if someone goes all in. And he's just like, I win.
That's funny. Yeah, you have to decide when to hit. True.
You can card count if it's single deck or single or double deck, but I've been to Vegas a couple times. It's like 5 decks. They make it very difficult for you to card count. They don't want you to. I think after that movie came out, they're like, yeah, no. 21. Let's see
here. I'm trying to see if I missed any chat.
No, that was I'm looking through it. We did a lot.
Find a good book and start from the beginning. Yeah, I mean, so like some books are well written.
I actually like the Dummies book. I learned C++ from a C++ for Dummies book, and it was actually quite good.
Some of those books are really good. I agree. Like the X for Dummies or whatever it is. Like those can be really effective, especially if you don't want to be an expert in the field. You just want like there's so
like get me going.
So like, have you seen the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer?
Yes, yeah. I love that. I love chess.
I love the movie because it's like the street chess. You know, you have like the academic
hustler
chess.
Yeah.
Right. So like the hustler guy, it's the combination of those two strategies that end up winning for you, right?
Yeah.
It's not just the academic chess, but it's also the
dirty chess
and puzzle solving, the dirty chess, if you will, like the being able to play on the street.
Yeah. Do you play chess? By the way, Zach, do you play chess?
Not well.
Okay.
I play, but like I don't have an ELO ranking or anything like that. But I'm like pretty average. I can beat my kids, but I can beat like. So I was at a family gathering, and I have a nephew who's I think 8, and he almost beat me.
Ooh.
Like he was so like
8-year-old.
I can lose. Yeah, an 8-year-old almost beat me.
Oh,
this
man.
guy's pretty good, but like, but so I'm not like great. But,
I think it's a great game. A lot of the kids in my server play, and actually on Sunday we had a tournament with like 11 of the kids. So if any of you guys play chess and you want to join our chess club on like chess.com, but I just started doing this, and
nice.
we have events. So this was the event we had. What was it? I had like a server-wide tournament last Sunday. And yeah, we played like 4 rounds, and I gave out gift cards to like, we did a point system where like if you won a game, it was worth 2 points. If you played a game, it was worth 1, and then it all got sent into a raffle. So if you were the best player, you didn't necessarily win the prize, but you had the better chance of doing it. So I may do more of those. If any people in the chat here want to play chess, like come play chess with us. It's fun. Jamarcus says, "What's your opinion on geometry? What's your opinion on geometry?"
I love geometry. You know that.
I know. I don't like the triangles, dude. The triangle theorems and the circle theorems.
No.
The circle theorems are worse.
There's so many.
If I ever do like a geometry class on Twitch, there's a theorem I want to be able to prove on Twitch, and I haven't proved it in a long time.
It's not for Moz last year.
It's a fun.
Is it for Moz?
What's that? No.
Is it for Moz?
No. Sorry, no, none of that crap. I'm not Andrew Wiles. That's like there's a movie called The Proof that goes through how.
Yes, we had to watch that, dude. Apparently, he was absolutely terrible to his wife, right? In order to like get the proof or something. Like he was just awful.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But I'm not talking about these. Like, there's so many of these random things, dude. I can't do these.
So it's the chord ones that get me. I mean, the ones like the center angles or the interior angle theorem.
Yeah.
Cyclic quadrilateral. Those are okay. It's when you start getting to chords that I don't like.
Yeah.
I'm not as good at those.
Yeah. I know you can prove them. Like, eventually, like, I just start busting out, like, law of sines, law of cosines. Like, if I have to, I'm like, we'll figure it out. But
it's true, Anders, though. Like, we underestimate kids who play chess so often. That's true. Like, we do.
Yeah. I've gotten beat by kids in my. 100%. I have some really brilliant kids in my Discord that like I'm pretty decent. Like I'm probably ELO 1100, 1200, but like some kids are like 1600, 1700, and I get smoked by them to the point where I started calling them out at first, being like, "You're using a bot. You're using a bot," and then I'm like, "No, they're just actually that good." I was like, "Oh wow, yeah." Geometry's so cool. Yeah, some geometry okay.
Yeah, some geometry's okay. The reason why kids like blocks. I love that.
I like Legos. Were you a Lego guy? Did you like Legos growing up?
I like Legos. I mean, they were all right.
Legos.
They're not like my. I think they were okay. They're mid. They're mid. I think
they're mid. You know that like as an adult, I have adult friends that invest in them like stocks. Like apparently, like the value of Lego sets like beats out the S&P 500. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they call it like a brick folio. Yeah, no, I'm serious. Yeah, like Lego.
A brick folio?
They call it a brick folio, dude. I'm serious, dude.
That's my new fact of the day. That's awesome.
It's called the brick economy, dude. It's there is look, we can look at the analysis, dude. Yeah,
my gosh.
Just like specific pieces. Look, growth, like annual growth, like dude, 12.5% is beating the S&P 500, dude. Like.
Well, they got a Mr. Gold. You got to have that one.
They got it. Yeah, where's the? Oh wow, yeah. Who wants
Mr. Gold?
Who wants to get me this one, dude? But like, yeah. What's the price for this thing right now? $10,000 for this Lego. Oh man.
Literally every day you see an application of trig, it's true.
Yeah.
In some ways, yeah. Overwhelmed. So I think we answered Obama's question here.
Yeah, we had the overwhelmed. Yeah, that's how we
got
deal with
that.
it. All right, let's go to the next question.
Yeah,
Nice.
we do.
I appreciate all the questions people are asking. Let's see. Saint,
great.
we did the interest in mathematics. I think we also did this. We also did when you weren't good at it or didn't like it, right? Or was there a point you didn't like it?
About that.
That was like high school, right? Yeah.
So there's the meme that says that math is mental abuse to humans. Have you ever heard that?
Sadistic.
It's an acronym, but and then there's like the more positive version that mistakes allow thinking to happen, right? Like so, there's you get both sides. There's come a point. This semester was the first time I actually believed that math was mental abuse to humans. I didn't actually believe that.
Is this through your research?
No, it wasn't the research. It was actually some of my coursework. Because it was so abstract, it was hurting my brain so much that I'm like, I can see what my students were thinking, right? Like I had some empathy to some extent because I'm like, normally I love math and I love everything about it, but even in real analysis, which is something that I love,
sure,
I was still struggling. Like I felt like I just was like, dang, this is so hard.
Yeah.
And like you get to a point of abstraction where it just feels hard.
Yeah, I had that with quantum mechanics in grad school. Like, I hit the proverbial wall, finally.
Mm-hmm.
I used to always be like, when people are like, I don't get this, I'm like, how do you not get this? Like, I can get anything. But then it was my first year grad school, my second quantum class. I just hit this wall of like, I don't get this. And no matter how many practice problems do, no matter how many YouTube videos I watch, lectures I go to, I just don't get it. I ended up failing the class actually because like I hit this wall. I was like, man, I've been a genius my whole life and now I don't get this. What's wrong, dude? What? I hit it.
Right.
I was like, damn. But it's okay.
Right.
It's part of life.
Yeah, no, it's all right.
Nick, the same question. Oh, I think. Okay. Oh, here we go. Here. Oh, wait. Jamarcus, we did. Okay. Not your friend's got a pretty long one here.
Okay. So why did you choose to study so many subjects? So, okay. All right. I guess it's story time again. Because
story time.
I originally started doing math education, but then I was like, well, I got to do something practical because I'm going to go into schools and tell people about math. I got to first figure out how math is applied. So my thought was I was going to go be an animator for Pixar. And work technical stuff.
You love Pixar, right? We didn't even touch this
right.
yet.
Right. So computer science was my thing then. I was like, okay, well, I got to go do computer science because I want to do game programming, animation programming and stuff. I got into it and I was like, and I actually failed a class and got lots of D's in computer science. And I was like, this apparently isn't for me. I'm not doing well. And I had a software programming job that gave me like the practical skills I needed, but it was more business applications than game programming and graphics programming. So I ended up dropping that and went back to math. Because I was like, I guess I don't really need to have I have enough practical or applied experience. I learned enough about they could probably get by.
Yeah.
And then TESOL, that is English as a second language stuff. So
ESL, that's what TESOL. Students, ESL. I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah. So teaching English to second. What's the acronym? Teaching English to second language. I don't something.
I'll
like
look
that.
It up. I'll look it
but
up.
But the point. Yeah, I'll look it up. It was basically to help people who are learning a foreign language in the public schools to learn English.
Teaching English to speakers of other languages.
Other languages. That's what I was trying to get. Thank you.
Yeah, you're good.
And so I did that actually out of practicality because I needed to, in order, I could get out of certain classes in my teaching program if I did this TESOL program. So it was like a trade that I thought was actually better in the short run. And it turned out to actually be a really good thing because later on in my career, I needed it when I taught certain populations needed the certifications, so to be able to teach certain groups.
Oh, very
cool. I was glad I was able to teach some of those groups because I had the certification.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's about diversifying all your skills, right? It's just about having I'd say a Swiss Army knife of things you can do.
Right.
But you almost what? Sorry.
No, I almost. So here's another fun fact. I almost did a ballroom dance minor.
Ballroom dance minor. Wow.
I was this close. I was one semester. My wife said no. She said we got married, and she said I couldn't do it. But I was I did a little bit of. So I was president of our social dance club on
Social
campus.
dance club. Okay.
So I did that for a year. Sort of fun. I didn't get to finish that minor though, so I would have had 3 minors had I done it.
So you would have 3 masters, 3 minors, a PhD. I feel like you're like going around capturing the Infinity Stones or something. You're just like, I need all of them.
I need all. It feels that way at times. I want to be done. I just want to be done with it. Like I'm so done.
Learning never ends, dude. We're lifelong learners, Zach, dude.
I know, and I need to still have my growth mindset. Here I am preaching about it. Actually, like live it.
Yeah, no, you are. No, I think that's very admirable. I mean, my dad's kind of the same way. He's learning. He's learning to play the bagpipes. I'm like, what? Like he's a neurosurgeon, right? He has a PhD, he has an MD, and here he is, like also learning playing the bagpipes. I'm like, what? Why? And he's just like, just keep learning things.
Yeah. No, it's true. Let's see what other we got here. What do you think? Why do you think it's helpful to know about different stuff when you're teaching? Okay. I'm not even going to talk about teaching and learning. I'm just going to talk about being a good citizen. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Like, there's something about knowing different stuff, as it said. Like, some people are like, "Well, why do we have a history class? Why do we have like an English class? Why should we even bother?" And the answer, I think, is we've got to. There's something about knowing, like, imagine if what we were talking about with Star Wars and Legos and all this, if I had to go look up all your stuff, right? This conversation wouldn't be nearly as fluid or fluent,
right?
As knowing the thing and being like, oh, I'm aware of that. And yeah, there are times where we need to look stuff up.
Sure.
But our conversation's been pretty fluid because we have a wide swath of knowledge we can.
Yeah, hobbies and different interests. Like, we have different knowledge. Yeah, that's cool. It's connections.
Right, and you literally need to, like, there's something about being, if you're too narrowly focused and narrowly specialized, you can't relate to other people.
Right.
So there's an element to which you gotta, like.
That's why some people watch sports, right? Because if you know sports, you know a team, then you can talk to someone else about sports in a team. You know. Right. I guess this is also called like interdisciplinary learning, right? Is that what we call it when you like learn a bunch of like different things as well? What's this question from Jamarcus? Wait, what's this? Very important question. Would you take $1 million, but you can't use the Pythagorean theorem or the compass app on your phone for the next 30 minutes? What? Jamarcus.
$1 million just for 30 minutes? That's like a really fair trade. I think I can do that.
He actually asked another question, which I should be able to answer, but I don't remember much of my quantum. Do you guys use this in math? Do you use Hermitian operators?
Yes, I have. I know of Hermitian operators. That's the one where you take the adjoint, isn't it?
Yeah, the adjoint.
It's the adjoint. I think that's the.
Yeah,
is that not what it is?
No, it probably is. Oh, I just don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, if I remember, we were talking about this. If I know, it's a self-adjoint matrix. That's right. A complex square matrix that's equal to its own conjugate transpose. That's what it is. Yeah, so I've used Hermitian matrices for stuff.
What does that mean in like real life? What does that mean like like practically?
So this is one of those theoretical ideas, right?
Right.
I don't know the answer. Quantum mechanics is probably the right answer.
Yeah, I know quantum is, but I failed quantum my second year of grad school, so I didn't like it.
I'm looking at Wikipedia because that's the source of all knowledge. And
all confusion though, dude. The amount of stuff, dude. Half of my TikToks, man, are just like deciphering Wikipedia. I'm just like, okay, this is what they say for the intermediate value theorem. This is what it really is.
Hermitian matrices, Fourier analysis, and signal representation. So signal processing stuff. And
Jamarcus says
matrices. Yeah.
All quantum mechanical observables are represented by Hermitian operators. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. That's sort of.
I guess they have real eigenvalues and real eigenfunctions. I mean, they say this: the eigenvalues and eigenfunctions are real, so that means like observables have to be real, right? You know, can't have imaginary observables.
Yeah. I feel like I should have known the answer to that, but I
no, it's okay. It's okay.
That's okay. How would you define the adjoint of an object? So. Didn't you have something on screen?
Yeah, I had this.
Because it's the conjugate transpose is what you want.
Which I don't know. Yeah, what is that? It's
so conjugate means like in the complex numbers you change the sign of the imaginary part.
Right.
And transpose means you take matrix and reflected across its diagonal.
Yeah, almost like 90 degrees, kind of. But yeah, it's across the diagonal.
Well, like 45. Like it's over like the line y equals minus. That,
yeah.
Like take that
row equals columns.
Imaginary observables. Are we talking about? Oh dear.
What is an observable? Observable is like measuring the position or the velocity of something. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good. Dr. L, what's your background, by the way, Dr. L? You seem to be decently knowledgeable in physics. What's your background, man? Curious. You know a decent amount about quantum. Probably more than I know about quantum.
Yeah, that's not my strong. Interestingly, one of our talks today was about quantum mechanics, and it was the hardest one for me to follow.
Yeah, quantum like boggled my mind, dude. Yeah, Dr. L, I got my PhD in plasma physics, so yeah, so we kind of like shunned quantum. I was like, no, I don't want to deal with this. I like fluids.
Shunning quantum.
Been living in the research world for too long. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, the input data to settle an experiment. Yeah, that could be something for sure. How do you manage your time between being a student, teacher?
Oh my gosh, Sensation did exactly that's exactly where I was thinking.
What was it? Yeah.
Candy Mountain. Oh my gosh, Sensation.
Oh, Imaginary Observables. Are we talking about God again?
No, the one below it. The one below it.
Shun What's Shun Candy Mountain, dude? What?
You don't know this reference? Oh no! Look up Charlie the Unicorn. You have to.
Oh yes. Oh, the one where he's like he takes his liver or something, dude.
That's right.
Hey, I'm going to Charlie.
That's right.
Oh, Shun the non-believer.
The non-believer.
Yeah. Hey, that's Charlie, we can go to Candy Mountain. Okay, I remember this now.
Oh my gosh.
That's too funny. Is that really what it's? I watched that meme way too long ago, so I don't remember it, dude.
Oh my gosh, it has been too long.
Good reference there, Sensation.
When Sensation brought that up, that's instantly what I was thinking of. I was like, oh no. Somehow that thought had come independent to me too.
Oh man. Shun.
You guys are taking me back. I know, right? Well, so here's another throwback. Do you know who Strongbat is?
Oh,
Trogdor.
Yeah, Trogdor is a good one, right? Yeah,
Trogdor. Same thing, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, these people. Yeah, was this Homestar Runner?
Yes.
Yeah, Homestar Runner. Oh man, dude. Yeah, the Burninator. Dude, we were doing this. I forget, Zach. Were you around for Penn Center's gaming night on Friday? We did. During a subathon.
I wasn't there. No, I was busy getting
ready. It's good. Yeah, Talos like got pretty drunk towards the end and just kept like yelling like Trogdor burninating all
the countryside.
Burninating all Badger, dude. These were all like the OG like memes.
Oh my gosh.
It's a snake.
Mushroom. Yeah. Snake. I'm done. Oh.
Maybe the classic case is solar eclipse and being able to check Einstein with measurable instruments. Seems like a lot of fancy words there, Uller. Yeah. But yeah, this is also why like I didn't really get into a lot of like astrophysics because I thought the theories they were coming up with were untestable. They'd be like, we think that because I see this pulsating light that it must be a celestial body hundreds of light years away called a pulsar that must be rotating. I'm like, cool, but when are you ever going to figure that out? Like, we'll never be able to actually go see it. So, I don't know.
I think I addressed the other parts of this too.
I think you did too, yeah.
Balancing, like scheduling. I think the biggest thing is creating some kind of schedule for yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a planner like you have. Mine is just the online calendar through Google.
Okay.
And I just share it. My wife and I share it, and that's it. Like,
do you plan anything like though, like 12-week goals, like 3-month goals, 6-month goals, or?
Yeah, we do that. We have. Yeah. I have sort of annual things. I actually have gone less with goal setting.
Okay, interesting. Because your goal is just graduate at this point. It's like get my PhD.
Yeah, like I mean,
you have the big goal.
But there's if you know, gosh, I'm throwing out YouTubers.
It's okay.
What's his name? CGP Grey. That's what it is. CGP Grey does something about having a theme for the year instead of having a goal.
Oh, I like that.
And so like there's this really cool. Basically, you find a word that motivates what you want to be doing. So, for example, like education would be a word.
Sure.
And so maybe you focus the year on being more educated, and so you don't try and set a specific goal of like do X. You say, I'm going to theme my life around education, and whatever opportunities to practice that I have, I'm going to take them.
Dude, this reminds
And
me of like the
that's
Pantone
sort of
like color of the year. You know, like Pantone does like a color of the year.
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like what is this year's? It's peach fuzz.
Is it peach fuzz?
Peach
What a
fuzz.
color.
Bro, what was it for like? Okay,
I'm learning all sorts of new things
what
tonight.
was it for
This is
20? I
awesome.
remember the COVID one was interesting. I think it was gold. No, oh man, can I
Was
not
it
see
gold?
the color? Let me see. Pantone colors of the year. You know what? So one of my good friends actually is the son of the guy who created Pantone.
Oh,
Which
really?
is pretty wild. Yeah. This billionaire guy, whatnot. He lives a crazy life. But I want to see what
Really?
this was. It 2021. The color of the year. I remember it was gold. Yeah, it was illuminating and ultimate
So
gray.
it was a tribute to you. I mean,
Yeah.
you got an homage.
I think they did it as a tribute to COVID because they're like the yellow was like yes life and the gray is like well everyone died. It's kind of what they said. Yeah, they said it was but that's cool.
Sorry, I missed Jamarcus's question.
Okay, all good.
Matrix quantum mechanics better. I don't know if I can answer that, to be honest. Like,
Well,
in your opinion, is Matrix quantum mechanics better or wave mechanics?
I think they're just two different ways of representing it,
I don't
right?
know.
I think it's just
Yeah, like I
representation.
don't know that there's like a better. I might be blabbering at nothing. I don't think so.
No, that's okay.
No, you're good.
You're saying the right words. Yeah, they sound
Yeah,
more or less
it's
intelligible.
Right. I had missed it. It's nothing personal. I'm watching several chat windows at the same
I
time.
know.
trying to make sure I don't miss anybody.
I know. This is where like I feel like I should use. Do you know Restreamio? Restream.io, which allows you to also like do
I don't know that
YouTube.
one.
Yeah, because I've
learning.
toyed with it, like also going to YouTube as well. But this is there. It allows you to stream on one platform and then it broadcasts it to everything else. But I don't like the latency. I already have enough of a latency. I don't want more lag. Yeah. What is Sensation saying? I have a ridiculous memory when it actually works. Celestial bodies. Are we talking about Uma Thurman now?
Oh
You like Uma? Do you like Sensation? Sensation, you like Uma
no.
Thurman?
Apparently, like that's what Sensation's saying.
Isn't her daughter in Stranger Things?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
This one, Maya Hawke is
Maya
Uma
Hawke,
Thurman's
okay.
Uma Thurman's daughter, and she's in
Is she? So who would she be? That's
she's the older girl that's the waitress at the fast food restaurant.
Well, I can sort of picture like I haven't really watched Stranger Things, but I can picture.
Oh, it's
like,
great.
I've seen I've seen screen grabs of it, and I can picture her face. Like I just need to see it in costume or.
Here, we're getting costume. This is her. She wears like the
Okay.
she works at the fast food restaurant or something.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's funny.
Gotcha.
That's a good show, actually. Okay, so here's a good thing. Yeah, do you watch any other TV shows? Or again, you don't really have time for TV, I guess, right?
I was gonna say right now, I've wanted to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. The
Okay. Netflix
cartoon
one?
series.
Oh, the
Yeah.
cartoon one, the OG one, the one that
Not the original, the OG, like the Nickelodeon one.
Oh wow, okay,
That's
cool.
the one I'm trying to get through right now. My in-laws say I should watch it, and I'm like, okay. But I like a lot of older. I mean, I'm an '80s, '90s kid, so.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. Like it was funny because
give me top three if you want.
I was gonna say Danny Highway gave me this challenge too, and I feel like I have a top 10, and I keep forgetting what's in my top 10. It's bad. Like number one, I think on the list, number one is Greatest Showman.
Oh really? Greatest Showman. That's a recent film.
So
okay, wow.
There's a lot of reasons for that. I empathize deeply with a lot of the characters in there.
Is that a musical? It's a musical, yeah?
It is a musical. Yeah, I tend to like musicals.
It's so funny. I have a disdain for musicals. I don't like musicals.
You have a disdain for musicals?
I really don't.
I'm sorry.
I don't like
We
musicals.
can still be friends after
No,
this.
it's okay. Oh my God.
We can still be friends. But, then I'll just be, I'll keep that in mind for later. I'll troll you with all the songs.
Please do. All the singing, dude. I can't, dude. I'm just like...
No, so there's that one. If I had to pick a favorite Pixar film, favorite one there is Up.
Up is good. I always cry, dude.
One.
The first minute, I cry, dude.
And WALL-E is a close second, and Ratatouille. Those three are. Other ones, so I don't know if you know this one. Have you heard of Gosh, what's it called? I can't even think of it. It's an older film. About if you've ever heard of the Scopes Monkey trial
Was it
in Tennessee. It was the one about. It's an old film. It has Gene Kelly in it. What is this? What's the name of the film?
Turkey Trot in what, Tennessee?
Oh, Inherit the Wind. No,
Inherit
the Wind.
The Wind.
It's actually a play.
Oh, okay.
But
it's an old school one then, I guess, right?
It's an old school. Yeah, that's the one.
Oh wow.
60s. It was 60s, not 40s. Yep, that's a good film. If you're interested, like there's also 12 Angry Men, so that's another black and white one.
Okay.
TV shows though, we're back on TV shows. MacGyver, that's a favorite, like the old school MacGyver.
Oh, old school MacGyver. Yeah.
Old school MacGyver. Murder She Wrote. Those kind of those kind of shows.
These are all super classics. I bet none of the kids know. None of the kids know these. Probably.
Yeah, they don't know.
They don't know any of these. They don't know these.
Honestly, like TV now.
Yeah.
I can't find anything good. Like there's just nothing I like. And
yeah.
I think I'm very much an old school. I've gone back a bit, and like Pluto TV is a thing. So if you want to go watch some old shows,
Pluto has the old stuff. It's almost like Turner Classic Movies or something, right?
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman.
Oh wow.
I am Batman.
Batman. Yeah, I think it has to come down to like again, a lot of things have changed in terms of with social media and things being like very like short time span. Like I want to see stuff now. Cool. Next. And I feel like if any TV show is slow to develop a plot and has like complex characters and whatnot, it bombs because no one has the attention span to follow it anymore. They're like, no, I just want like.
And it's for that very reason that I like the old stuff. It's because I like to have the attention and like I'm willing to commit like 55
you gotta invest
to a story.
Yeah.
There was actually one that got pulled from Disney Plus, and I'm really sad it did. It was called The Mysterious Benedict Society.
Oh,
and it was in 2020. This good thing. It actually got pulled because the writer's strike happened, and so Disney did some cost-cutting maneuvers and cut out some things. But it had Tony Hale.
Oh yeah, very cool. Yeah, I know this guy. Wait, isn't this guy
really cool?
Oh man,
he's in a lot of stuff.
He's in that film where it's like the 7 people, but they're like supernatural or something. Oh man, I'll have to remember it sometime. Okay.
So this is one that's about kids that have to go and infiltrate a school.
Oh okay.
And it's sort of a fun story. I've got the books on my shelf. It's become one of my favorite recent TV shows, but unfortunately,
but they only did it for 1 year. They only did it for 1 year.
Two seasons, actually. Two seasons.
That's decent. Yeah, Tony Hale, who is in, what is he known for? American Ultra.
He was Forky in Toy Story 4.
Oh, no way! I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff, though.
Oh, he's in a ton of stuff here. Wow.
That's the one I remember.
Oh, he's in so much. Oh, man. I can't even, like, keep up. There's so much stuff going on. Yeah, there's a lot of content out there, and then I get like overwhelmed because I don't have enough. This is why I don't like getting into huge shows that have massive amounts of seasons. Like it took me forever to get into Breaking Bad because I just didn't want to commit like so many hours. I saw it. I'm like, it's 8 seasons or something, and I'm like, this is about to be like 400 hours of my life. I don't really want to do this, but I know once I get into it, I'm gonna want to keep watching it.
Well, and I've actually like really liked YouTube, and in some ways YouTube and Twitch are better than what's mostly out there. Like you get better, more authentic content in some ways.
Yeah,
which is really like you get people like How Ridiculous or Dude Perfect. They'll go and do these crazy videos, and they're just as entertaining as almost anything. Which is really coal.
Oh, well, let me see. What was the other parts of this question? We did all this. Okay, cool. Let's go to the next one.
We did all that. Yep.
Let's do it. We already did that. Wait, I swear someone else had a good. Oh, did we? Oh, here we go. Here's Taco Cats. Oh, have you made or been a part of a movie in Pixar films? We did the math teachers. I wish. Yeah. How did you meet me? I think through Penn Center, right?
I met Gold. Yeah, Penn Center. You and Penn Center talked a lot, and then invited all of us.
Yeah, Penn Center just found me, I guess. He found me, and I remember him being like, "Oh, there are these other math streamers," and I was like, "Oh, really? No way." And I had like a meeting with him because I had like this grandiose plan of like what I want to do with actual education and whatnot. I was like, yeah, let's just like send kids and ask questions and blah, blah, blah. And it'll be this great thing. And he's like, well, maybe get to know the guys first a little bit. And I was like, oh, okay.
Right. Right.
I'm a very like jump to the gun, like let's get things done. Like I I'm a very like Aries Ram type. I'm just like, let's just do things. But there's also the complexities of like, oh, there are human emotions. You have to build trust with people. You can't just like just jump the gun and be like, let's go do things. So it's for me, it's been fun getting to know all you guys like personally, and then like through the streams and whatnot. I think there definitely is like something cool amongst like everything that we do. And I know like earlier, right, Penn Center was trying to like organize something, and then there was kind of like some like, you know, I don't know, but I think that we can figure something out to really grow everyone's communities and like have more of an impact to what we do.
That's thank you, Sensation, for that. I finding people and telling you that exists. Well, thank you.
Yeah, awesome, dude. Yeah, Sensation. Y'all are the best.
The North remembers.
The North, yeah, that's from Game of Thrones, right?
That's
y'all
awesome.
are the best referrals, is what I say. I always tell the students, I say, I can spend $100 on TikTok ads and like show it to kids and be like, hey, join this Discord, blah blah blah. But they will trust you the most if it comes from you instead of just like some from TikTok ad. Yeah.
Well, cool.
Yeah. Let's see. What was it? Setbacks.
Indeed shows are so funny because how poorly some of them are made. Oh no.
Oh no. I don't watch much Bollywood, but Bollywood is big. I do remember
I know. I really would like to have been the star of Wall-E. That would be something else.
Eva. That's another like Pixar films like hit. Like, oh, seriously, why do you like Pixar films so much? Is it the aesthetic? Is it the message?
So like it's more a message thing. Like they're universal message. Like a lot of Pixar films appeal, not so much anymore. I feel like they're doing too many that it's just getting ridiculous now.
Too many
Inside
what?
Out 2, I'm less.
Too many sequels.
Too many sequels, yeah. So like Inside Out 2 coming out this year, I'm not as excited for.
Yeah.
Because it's a rehashing of an old story. And the original Inside Out was awesome.
Right.
But what I really love is when they actually like take a like create something genuinely new. Luca was a recent one that was really good. And Turning Red was okay, but like it has some moments that were good.
Oh, see, I haven't even seen any of these. Oh wow.
Yeah, they're 2020 plus, like after
post pandemic
during the in the pandemic actually.
Oh, this in the pandemic,
came out. Yeah, this was 2022, so it's just as the tail end of it. But movie theaters weren't open yet, so it didn't get a lot of press. Onward was another one that came out in recent memory.
Onward, okay.
Soul. These are all that came out in 2020, 2021.
Wow, dude! Yeah, really I never knew any of these. Yeah,
like,
man. Wow, it's because of COVID. I just never saw these.
Well, and like I saw Soul on Christmas Day. It came out on Christmas Day, and I was like, "Dang, this is good! Like, this is a really good film. Like, more people need to see this."
Oh yeah, okay.
It's a good one. So I'll give a shout out there for any of those.
Shout out to Soul.
Yeah, shout out to Soul. That's a good one. Luca was good. Onward is really good. I don't recommend. So this is just me. I personally didn't like Lightyear. They made the
Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah. And the backstory. What was the best review I saw of that movie was, this is supposed to be the movie that inspired Andy to get a Buzz Lightyear. What he should have gotten was Socks the Cat. This was really an advertisement for socks, not for Buzz.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I know,
like
and there was
I wanted the socks.
There was a lot of controversy too, right? People started getting all mad about, I don't know, like there's a lesbian scene in there or something. They're like, why are they putting lesbians in Buzz Lightyear? I'm like, whatever, dude, whatever you guys want, I don't care. But
serious statement: if you haven't watched Inside Out and you haven't cried, your heart is stone. Oh no.
Wow.
Wow. I love that. I love that movie though. Like Inside Out is like so good on so many levels. The second movie we'll see, but the first one was definitely like A++.
Yeah, I did like all the emotions being drawn out, and also it's about a kid, right, that moves to San Francisco and is like dealing with depression or something, right?
How can a child
monkey drink his son and die?
That's different. I was trying to figure out what that was all about.
Hey, what plot is that, dude? Oh, it's probably something from one of the Indian films.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah,
nice.
Like So yeah, Pixar films are great. Why are you trying to get a PhD? What's so fun
yeah,
about
here, let's
it?
go. Yeah, here are the good ones. Yeah, these are some really long
ones. Why do you
ones
find
here.
it so interesting that you get a PhD? You
Uh,
have to discover something new. Not necessarily, as we've alluded to before. You just have to
Yeah.
sometimes write the paper in a way that makes it look new. You just have
Yeah.
to create something new enough, right?
like put your own flavor on it. Like
Yeah,
sprinkle
I mean, it doesn't have to be
some salt.
perfectly new. Right. Because like what I'm doing isn't exactly new. I'm taking it and repackaging a lot of things. Like
Yeah.
that master's project you saw earlier was like me taking ideas from other people and some of my own and packaging it in a way that a teacher could maybe use. Like maybe.
Yeah.
Let's see here. To get a PhD from ethics, let's see. So but some people do discover new things. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like you can
Some people get
that,
Nobel
and that can
Prizes. It does happen.
Yeah, you can do it. If so, isn't that a very difficult task trying to discover something new in math? Yeah, like that's more. I think what happens is we think of something new as like we have to have something earth-shattering, and many research projects are not earth-shattering.
Yeah, they're kind of mundane.
Like, I mean, you don't like they're more like they're novel applications that they may be applied in a specific way, but they're not new ideas that we like study in textbooks.
Mhm.
Exactly. I mean, you get things like Pluto's not a planet, like that whole debate, right? Like you get stuff like that.
Justice for Pluto.
Justice for Pluto. I know. I was in astronomy. I was in an astronomy class when it was actually happening, and I remember being like, "What the heck is this? They're demoting Pluto. I can't get behind this."
No, dude. Who's advocating for Pluto?
Who does this? But anyway.
Legendary problem that hasn't been solved. Yeah. I mean, there's a whole list of
Snow
these,
White
right?
and the dwarf planets. That's funny.
The dwarf Snow White and the dwarf planets. Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, good one.
There is new things that is only exciting in the field. There is new things that is only exciting in the field. My calc's a little rusty. What is the integral of 2x dx from 10 to 13? Quick math.
Seriously. Oh my gosh. Seriously.
It's 3.
You're trying to
right?
get me to say the number that's between 68 and 70. The only integer, right?
Oh, is that what he's trying to do?
That's what he's trying to do.
Oh,
What he's trying to do.
That's too funny. Oh, integral 2x, right? Yeah, x squared over 2. Yeah, so it's just x squared. Oh,
So
169 minus 100. Oh, he wants to say 69.
Nice.
Good job, dude. We
That's
have a
what
button.
he wants me to say.
We have a button on the soundboard just for you, dude.
Nice.
But what are these? So some of these problems, right, have prizes on them, right? The Millennium Prize problems.
Right. So there's a few of these that are worth $1 million, and that's like what's thrown around.
Yeah,
like,
people have like
solving
bounties.
these
They put
problems.
bounties up, right?
That's right. Yeah. And there's other problems that have bounties on them, but those are probably the most famous.
Yeah.
If you can, for example, predict the weather, that's the Navier-Stokes equations, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can solve those. That you can basically predict the weather perfectly. The trouble with that is that you can't do it
Thanks for the follow.
very well. Like we know the equations that govern weather.
Sure.
But we don't know the initial conditions, and so that's the trouble.
It's a chaos theory problem. It's Navier-Stokes fluid. It's actually a lot of why plasma physics gets plagued with problems, is that we just don't understand chaos theory. We don't understand fluid dynamics.
Yeah.
It's just I think
Weather's
Feynman.
too hard. Too many. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. There's so many. Like, oh my gosh, it's not even funny how many variables there are.
I think Feynman said it. He said it was the most important problem in modern day physics. I think he said. He said this. He said turbulence is the most important unsolved problem of classical physics. Is what he's saying. And turbulence is what we have to do. That's the Navier-Stokes equation, right? Yeah.
Yep. It's a PDE.
It is. Yeah. Partial differential.
If you don't know what that is, how do you predict the weather stone, the weather rock? Yes.
What is
how
the?
you do it.
Excuse me. What the fuck is this?
It's a weather stone.
Stone wet, raining. Stone dry, not
stone dry,
raining.
nothing.
Stone on wall, sunny. Shadow on wall. Stone white on top, snowing. Cannot see snow. Foggy. Oh my god, dude. More accurate than who's Paul Hudson? Poor Paul Hudson, dude. That's too funny, dude. Thank you, Sensation, for that. That's hilarious.
I found somebody finding something new, but nobody cares. Only the problem in that field of research. Yeah, like sometimes that's exactly what happens. Is
specialized. You get very specialized.
That's what happens. Is you get to these specialized fields that are
only you can understand.
And maybe 5 other people.
Yeah, it's so hyper specific. My one good friend, he was on our podcast earlier, is a quantum gravity researcher. And
oh my gosh.
some of the stuff he says, man, bro, again, I have a decent background in physics. I understand like 10% of it. I'm like, bro, what are you even talking about? And it's cool, but like, yeah, it's like if a bear shits in the woods and no one sees it, like, did it happen type of thing, right? You're just, if you discover something cool and awesome, but you can't explain it and nobody understands, like, did you really discover anything?
Right.
Yeah.
So let's see here. What would you even do with a PhD in math? See, like, so the common answer is teach, right?
Yeah.
But or like do research, or like, I don't know. It's really hard because I think it really depends again on your life goals. You can do a lot. You can go out and teach if you like, but you can also do some really crazy, interesting research. And I have a friend, for example, who, I think it was from the Department of the Interior or Forest Service, that's going to go and work there. It has a PhD in math and ecology. So like, that's a really cool job you can get.
Yeah, it's like a
other people go out into like have worked for. I know people who have done data science roles in just about every tech company. Right, there's people that work everywhere. So like, you can get jobs that are applied, that are interesting, that aren't just academic jobs. It just depends on what you want. If you want the academic job, that's really hard to get.
Yeah, that's a whole. I was explaining that to the student who I hope she's watching, because I sent her. She's one of the students who was like, she didn't understand what math grad school was, but I can tell she's talented. And I was like, oh, here, I have a math grad student on my podcast tomorrow. Please come watch. But I was explaining to her how the whole process works of like, yeah, sure, you get a PhD, and then you are in kind of in this limbo of doing a couple postdocs until some sort of tenure track position as a professor opens up. And sometimes that requires waiting for somebody to die, because these appointments are for life, right? I don't know if in your field how it is, but in physics, especially, some of the more specialized ones, there just aren't any openings. You have to wait for people to pass. Otherwise, you're not getting one.
That's basically how it goes. I mean, that's about right. I mean, at our institution, we're having some hiring. So if you happen to have the credentials, maybe you could get hired. But
when these open, how many applicants do they have? I remember when there was like one UCLA. It's like 400 applicants, and they all have PhDs.
Yeah, no kidding. Wouldn't it be difficult to get a job even though you got a PhD in math? Since you have a PhD means you get paid a lot.
He's talking about like the pay expectation, like you're overqualified. Yeah, that is a problem sometimes.
Right, so that is a problem sometimes, and I know people who have done well. I know people who struggle to get jobs. It really, there's so much that depends on. It's more than just the PhD.
Yeah. The PhD definitely commands you get a little bit of respect, you get more respect, right, from employers and whatnot. I get a lot, because again, I'm pretty eccentric, right? I wear all this gold stuff. I look crazy, whatever I do.
Right.
And then I tell people I teach math and science, and they're like, no, you don't. And I'm like, well, I do have a PhD in physics. And they're like, oh.
Well, that's like, in some ways though, that's like a party killer, right? Like, you say you're a math teacher or a science teacher, you're like, oh yeah, I'm done. Like, you're not the life of the party, right?
No,
like, how can you?
That's why I tell them I do it on Twitch and YouTube, and then I also like challenge them to some more tequila shots.
Right?
It sounds cool, because I'm just like, because then they see what I'm dressed as, and they're like, oh, there's something going on here. But then they get surprised because they're like, oh, he's also smart. Like, he's not just acting stupid because it's Saturday night. Like, he's actually intelligent. I was like, yeah.
I think that's sort of a misnomer though, to say that you have to have a PhD to be smart. Like
no.
Yeah. Right.
Totally not. And honestly, I think the number one thing a PhD indicates, the thing you have to get a PhD, is you have to have perseverance. That's what I would say it is. It's not about being smart or dumb. It's about being able to push through everything and like finish. That's the hardest thing, man.
So I'm just going to go and say that, like, on this subject about PhDs, I actually think, and this is sort of a weird opinion, so hot take. But I think everyone should get a PhD.
Yeah.
And let me explain what I mean by that.
Explain. Yeah.
I don't really mean that you should go to get an accreditation from a college saying that I'm a PhD, like have a doctor on your name.
Yeah.
But you should be so good at what you do that essentially you have a doctorate level knowledge of the thing you do, whatever it is. And like that's like, you can have a doctorate in Pixar film if that's what you want.
Sure.
But like, you should be so good at that thing that like you have a passion for it. It's like, that's why we have hobbies.
Yeah. They talk about this 10,000 hours, right? This is the whole. It takes 10,000 hours to be a master at something, and so they talk. And I think 10,000 hours at a certain amount of whatever takes like 7 years. So they say like, you know, in our lifetime we have like 10 lives. Like every 7 years you get another chance to become a master at something different. And I think that is important. That's kind of the lifelong learning thing. I think my last 7 was being a grad student in physics, right? That was cool. I did that for 10 years, but and now I'm entering the next phase where I'm like, well, now I want to do like education and outreach, you know, and then maybe 7 years after that, I don't know, I won't want to go like be a master at the kazoo or something. I don't know, like, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
And what,
go on.
What Sensation says here is no one is beyond self-improvement.
Yes.
100% agree. Like,
yes.
Really, there's this continual progression that happens. I completely agree with that.
I think it's like neurogenesis. I think you create more brain cells by learning something new. I think that's the sharpest people I see who don't have dementia in their 80s and 90s are constantly doing stuff. The people that I do see that like have dementia kind of retired at 50 and just started playing golf. They're like, I'm done. And I have like kind of I have a hot take on this where I think the human body knows when you're being useful to society and keeps you alive because you are useful. When you are no longer becoming useful to society, biology knows that you are taking up resources, you are taking up space, and you are no longer a benefit here. So it starts pre-programming the natural. This is why, I mean, death is natural. We have to die because we have to make room for other things to grow. Mm-hmm. So if later in life you're not still doing something, your body's like, okay, cool, peace, we're out. So keep doing stuff if you want to stick around, is what I say.
Yeah.
Let me pull up. Oh, so, okay, I think we have one last set of questions. I know it's getting kind of late. What would be a day-to-day life of one of the jobs you would get? What a mathematician. Actually,
this is a question I have for myself. Thank you, Anders, for getting baby voice. My voice is going to be very high-pitched for 30 seconds on the stream. Yeah, I had this personal question.
Into my voice too?
Yeah, I think it does everyone's. Well, no, I think it just does my voice. I think it just does mine. Yeah.
I was gonna say I'd be interested. I'll have to go watch the VOD.
Yeah, someone clip it. So I had this personal question for you. What is day to day for you as a grad student? Like, do you just sit in front of a computer and just start writing up notes and ideas?
Is it pen and paper? You're trying to figure something out. Like, what do you do as a grad student?
So I'm a more teaching focused grad student, so you'll get the teaching slant on this.
Okay.
But a lot of my time is spent. Right now, it's been stressing about getting my dissertation. But like you're supposed to sort of spend half your time doing teaching and half your time doing coursework, research or stuff. And when I'm doing teaching stuff, what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out how do I help students understand the thing. The way one blogger wrote, it was like if the math you're trying to learn is the aspirin, right? What was the headache you had to try and create to need the aspirin type thing? So like a lot of my time planning is that kind of thing where I'm trying to think here's this thing I'm trying to help people understand. How do I create the need for people to learn? And then when it comes to research and coursework, I'm doing a lot of stuff with study groups now. Okay. I didn't used to because COVID was a thing. I had to do a lot of my homework on. But nowadays it's study groups. I'm typing at a computer a lot. It's trying to balance the demands, and really you're trying to balance demands, and you're given like 8 hours a day to do stuff, and you have to sort of say, all right, I've got this homework to do, and I've got to look at this homework. I've got to manage. I got TA responsibility, so they'll have like TA meetings.
Sure.
And that's something we don't talk about very much. You'll often be in meetings or colloquia, is what it's called. Sometimes where you have a special guest speaker come in.
Oh yeah, colloquiums. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Or like you'll have sometimes another fun thing I do is, this is sort of rare, but when people want to come to our university for grad school, we get to take them to lunch. And
we had the same thing. You have to wine and dine them. You gotta be like, hey man, here's why you want to join. Yeah,
right. So we have to we like grill them and say, well, what do you want to do here, and tell them about our lives. And another thing we don't talk about much is like just having fun with other grad students. You get to like just chill with them and talk about philosophical things.
Like, be humans.
I think that's sort of cool.
Yeah.
Like I've had some good philosophical conversations with those in my office space.
Cool.
And you get like your own little office space usually. Not very big, but it's something.
It's something.
And,
this is my home.
This is my home. It may be open office in my place, but you know, it's a home away from home in a way.
We had a first year grad office where they put all the grad students from the first year in a single like big room.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was like
we're all mixed all over the place.
Yeah, but it was kind of funny because we kind of destroyed the place to the point where they did not allow that to happen for the years afterwards. they were kind of like, name that
sorry,
what?
We got a sensation question here. The golf is fun, only fun if the balls explode, randomly explode. Name that quote. I plan to live forever, of course, but barring that, I'd settle for a couple thousand years. Even 500 would be pretty nice.
500 would be pretty nice. Yeah, I would take 500.
I don't know that quote. I feel like I should.
Yeah, what's the 500 years from?
Yeah, I don't know it.
Oh man, I'm trying to find.
1,000 years. Why would 1,000? Something happen for a long time. 500 would be pretty nice. I don't think it's a Pixar film though.
Oh, here I got a picture. This is the picture of our here. I got this. This was our first year grad lounge. So.
No, I don't know that quote. It's Alpha Centauri.
Oh, Alpha
Video
Centauri.
game called Alpha Centauri. Didn't know that.
So we quickly realized that we had unlimited printing options. Like they would let us print as much things as we wanted to like print notes and stuff. So we just started like using rasterizing software to print memes, and then we just like decked out our whole grad office with memes.
We have a quote wall on my in our room. So like we'll share quotes. I think the one that this is totally taken out of context, of course. Sure. But I think I said, and so we conclude that Michael Phelps and Gaston are essentially the same. And it's just sort of fun things.
Who's Michael Phelps and Gaston? Yeah, you build shared threads in a community, and you have like a shared language. Yeah.
Right. And so like this is the fun part of grad school. The part that I think you should celebrate if you do go is you get to have like these social and do stupid things like that.
It's camaraderie too.
Camaraderie is
you're all going through hell, but you're all going through hell together, and you're like, we're gonna make it. Some of my best friends came from grad school for sure. Let's see.
Gosh, how are we doing?
I think
no color copies. Too much pain in behind.
We had color copies. We did. Yeah.
That's nice. I lucky.
Yeah.
If you get to eliminate one subject in secondary education, or teach another,
I like that.
Needed, what would you do? Man, I mean that's loaded. Ironically, so I think if it were me, this is going to sound really bad, but I'd get rid of Algebra 2.
Wow. No Algebra 2.
I actually would. And the reason is not because it's a bad subject per se. I don't think everyone needs it. It's it's an advanced algebra. Like I think a lot of people need Algebra 1 in geometry. Yeah. A lot of what we have is a remnant of World War II and remnant of the space race. And so we pushed for a lot of math to be taught in the schools because we wanted to beat out the Russians in the space race. There's like this cultural heritage that we want to do better here in the United States. And so like that's here in the States. I'm speaking for the US specific.
Yeah.
If you're in Europe or other things, I don't know how that works for you, or like in Asia, it's a little different. But for the US, I'd get rid of Algebra 2.
What would you emphasize instead? What would you emphasize instead?
I'd emphasize. So I might put in some kind of data literacy, like some kind of something practical,
data science,
maybe not data science, not full on data science like Python data science, but like elementary statistics. Some finance.
Stats is good. Yep. They're replacing a lot of remedial math with stats courses in California, at least. They're doing this instead of remedial math. They're doing statistics.
There's pros and cons to that too. Let's be careful, because I don't think like all algebra should go.
No,
that's a part of human history that like, and the idea of solving for an unknown is super important. But I think we take it too far in Algebra 2, and that's why I say Algebra 2 specifically. It's not that algebra should go. It's that we should get rid of the requirement for more algebra. If you want the more algebra, we should still offer it, but not like. That's an opinion, though. I don't have much else to base that on.
No, there's a debate in California right now about the data science. Is that
I know about Joe Buller.
Oh, do you? Okay, yeah.
No, I know her push, and I'm very familiar with it. Eliminate PE, Sensation Black says, and
eliminate PE.
I don't know. Like
I liked PE. It's good.
You don't. I like the way I did PE. I mentioned earlier I did like the cycling. I think that's really cool. But I think you should have a little bit more flexibility in what you do for PE.
Yeah. I think dodgeball was a very core part of my upbringing, you know?
Yes, it was.
Dodgeball was. Although I don't even know if they do dodgeball anymore because probably they don't want the kids to sue for getting hit or something. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
my goodness. Linear algebra is so fun. Only time before and math and.
It's only time before they ban math in California. Yeah, they don't.
Very important for the common man to be able to read stats and recognize it's legit.
I agree with that.
There are some bad graphs out there. I taught stats I taught AP stats once, and I didn't actually do it, but I wanted to have a bad graph day. Take all the bad graphs on the internet and just show them how bad they are.
Yeah, let's look at this is some good ones. Yeah. Apparently, this is like gun deaths in Florida.
Right.
What is this? Why is it inverted, dude? What is this? That's a bad one. Yeah. You can always, you can be misleading for sure, right? It doesn't add up to 100%, no y-axis. Yeah, right. You can do a lot of stuff. I don't like these. I really don't like these graphs. When they do these, when they section it like this, I don't like these. These to me confuse me. I
can't... George, thanks for following, by the way.
Oh, thank you, Loco George. Yeah, thanks, dude. Appreciate that, Loco George.
Thanks for the follow.
Yeah, make sure, guys, if you're just joining us here on Twitch, go follow our guest here. His name is eToThe2iPi. If you're interested in math and stuff, he teaches a lot of cool math help Twitch sessions. And are you doing a course over the summer, or is that Penn Center?
That's Penn Center. Penn Center is doing complex variables. I know Obi-Wan Pez, Flex Pachinko is doing a differential equations.
I love DiffyQ.
Yeah, so get excited.
I'm excited, dude. Hype.
That's going to be July, August, I think. That's what I hear.
Oh, I'm hyped for that.
September, and then I'll start something in September that I haven't announced, but I've alluded to.
Ooh, yes, secrets. Let's see. Last part of this question was, what do you think is the most useless PhD?
What's the useless? Oh my gosh.
Most useless.
See, I know what that question's trying to ask.
Yeah, I know what it's trying to bait. It's trying to bait me to say gender. It wants me to say gender studies.
Because I think that's what something humanities is what you want me to.
Yeah, you want me to say that.
Or some kind of art history or
underwater basket weaving.
Underwater basket. I don't think that's the right answer because I said I think that everyone should have a PhD in something. And so there's not really a useless PhD because it's all furthering your knowledge of stuff.
Yes, exactly.
And knowing something is sometimes, it's a good thing. It's pretty much a universal good education.
Yeah.
And so I tend to think that more is, but yeah.
Nice.
So I don't know that I can rank one as now. There's economically useful and economically not useful, and that's I think what you're really asking. Or you're trying to get me to
everything
answer,
is useful to society. We need art, we need music, we need these things.
Right.
But will it pay your rent? That is the question. Yes.
It probably is. I mean, art history. I think art histories are pretty good. I like art history personally.
Mm-hmm.
It was one of the most fascinating classes I took. But that's one of those classes that gets you ready for Jeopardy. In some ways, if you wanted to be a contestant on Jeopardy, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
You take those classes. But it's also good for cultural literacy. This is another book I have on my shelf.
Okay.
It's called The Dictionary of Cultural Literacy, and we make common references to things.
Yeah.
And we all share this if I say when I say Pixar film, everybody
knows what a Pixar film is.
what a Pixar film is, right? Or if I say
Abraham Lincoln, the Mona
Abraham
Lisa,
Lincoln, yeah.
right? Yeah, all these things.
Mona
Yeah,
Lisa,
we know what these
these
things
are all
are.
things that like we know what those are, even if we're not really interested in them. There's
Yeah.
a shared literacy we have that at least we recognize it when we see it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Elko says art history is worth it if you figure out how to sell yours. I have a whole theory that all of like art selling is just money laundering for rich people. Yeah.
I'm laughing because I can see why you say that.
Lesbian dance theory. What are you saying, Sensation, dude? What? Lesbian dance theory. Oh man. All right, let's see. I think we went through all the questions.
Okay.
Unless anyone else has any last things here, but then I do this thing at the end of every stream, Zach, where I have you pick what you thought was the best question that one of the students asked.
Make me do that.
Yeah.
That's
So
nice.
well, and also
hard job.
I give you the option of if you want to pick a couple top contenders, I can put them on like the spinner wheel of judgment. If you're like, I really like that one or that one.
I think we should put every one of these on the spinner wheel.
I like that. I like that. That's a good idea.
I think all of these have contributed to a very good discussion.
I like that.
And all of them should be thrown on the wheel.
All right, we're gonna throw everyone on the wheel of destiny. Yeah, because it's something I do to incentivize the kids to like ask questions. I say that
What's my favorite flavor ramen?
Oh yeah, ooh, I like ramen.
I don't know, like that's a good question.
I like the black the black garlic one. Anything that's like dark and garlic and heavy, I love.
Sure. Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't know what the. I'll have to get back to you on that one.
Do you guys have a lot of ramen up in where are you? Northern Utah, I guess.
Yeah, Northern Utah. I don't eat a lot of ramen, but I know I did when I was in Korea. I did eat a lot of ramen.
Yeah. Oh, so wait, how long were you in Korea? Seoul is my favorite city of all time, by the way. It's funny that you've been to Korea. I haven't lived there. I spent 2 weeks there once. But it's my favorite. It's my favorite city I visited. I guess it's been my
Ooh.
I really loved it.
I was there during the World Cup in 2006, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow. Okay.
I was like I don't know if it was actually in Seoul, but I know that they had the World Cup there. It was on this big projector out down in the downtown.
How long were you in? How long were you there for?
About 2 years.
Oh wow.
About 2 years.
That's a while.
So.
That's
the one
cool.
thing I regret is not being able to see the DMZ.
You didn't even go to? I went to that, dude. I went to that during my trip.
I wanted to, and I didn't actually get to go. But like, there was a group who did go, and it's one place I just regret not being able to at least see.
Do you know what they do on that? So they put you on a bus and they take you to DMZ, right? Mm-hmm. And then you go see it. And it's like cool. Mm-hmm. But then on the way back, they take you to like a ginger store, and they're like, "Hey, go into the store," and then they try to upsell you to buy ginger. It's like part of the whole thing is like they must pay something for this bus to just conveniently stop for a break at this one ginger store and be like, "Hey, buy some ginger." Okay, cool. Let's roll the spinner wheel for all your questions. Oh, thanks for the other follow. Thanks, Samuel. All right, let's see who's gonna win. Who's gonna win? Spin, spin, spin. Yeah, it was Candy Jenner too.
Fixed.
Well, it's going to Saint. Good job, Saint. You win, Saint. Yeah. That's. I always love when the kids ask questions, and it sparks for some good. I've had a great time with you, Zach. Like I knew this was gonna go great, but like you are such a cool, multi-dimensional, multifaceted person, and then as you speak, right, all these like schema and different things we know. You make for a lot of great conversations. Have you been on a podcast before?
I've never done this before. I don't do this. So like it's I've done Twitch. I mean that's about as close as I can get.
Sure.
Which it's a learned skill. It's one of those things that when I started out I was a lot more awkward. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful all those VODs are gone.
I keep the memories, dude. I keep the receipts.
My first VODs are gone. Thankful for that.
Yeah. That's a nice compliment to you.
Now I have more things to quiz Zach on.
Yes. Again, yes. So yeah, we have a whole. Yeah, go on. You're good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say we have a whole community of math streamers. So anyone in the Twitch, please go follow all the awesome math streamers there in that link. And they stream all during the week. And if you ever want to ask math questions, these are the guys. Like they're the homies. Nice. All right. Cool. All right, well, thank you again, Zach. I appreciate you. Let's give a big thank you to Zach for taking time out of his day to come speak to you guys and give an inside look to being a math grad student. Wow, Don just raided us at the end of his stream. Oh, what's up, Don?
Hey, Don.
What's up, Don, dude? Yeah, raid. Yeah,
What
we
the
got more
heck?
people.
Got a raid right at the end.
You caught us right at the end, dude. Yeah.
Caught you at the end.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, no, we've been streaming for
You missed
2 hours
the
and 45
whole
minutes.
Thing.
It's all right. We will record this. Yeah, this is all recorded.
That's right.
It's all going to be on. So I post everything on YouTube. So if you go to our channel, YouTube.actualeducation, we have all the Golden Hour AMA podcast recordings are here. So you can watch any of the other guests we've had. Gonna have to catch the VOD. Yeah, we had some good discussions, Don. Yeah, it was cool. Elko George, yeah. Yeah, anything else you want to say, Zach? Sorry, before I take us out.
No, I think we've had a good discussion. It's been fun.
Yeah. This is great. I need to get Danny Highway on here again, or maybe Don.
I told you should. That was my idea, and I think
to get Danny.
If he's here, Danny's here, Danny you should do it.
Yeah, Danny's. I know Danny has some very strong opinions, and I would love to we would just go. It'd be so much fun. Oh my gosh. Okay, nice. All right, cool, sweet. Well, yes, thank you everyone for joining. A lot of fun. Our next stream is going to be on Monday, so that will be at 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. Make sure to come on by, and if you need to get help with math and science, that'll be on Monday. For the other kids that are in my Discord, we have a talent show that's happening next week. So if you have a cool talent, make sure to submit me a video by Sunday, okay? Because I want to start putting a video together with that. And then we'll do the judging for that. We're giving out a PS5 to the kids, so it's a pretty big prize.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Let me see. In terms of cool. We got a lot of other people. So after this, I'll raid someone. I think I'm gonna do so because I have so many people that I should raid. I'm just gonna put a spinner wheel to it at this point because I know
you should. You know that could be fun. I could see you I could see myself doing that in the future.
Yeah, no, I see because I have a lot of cool friends, and I just don't know who to raid sometimes. So at this point, I'm like, cool, let's just make it a spinner wheel. So yeah, because we have who do I have? I got Sensation is streaming, Merryweather is streaming, Moo Hoodles is also cool. She does NASA stuff, and Science is great as well. So here we're gonna see.
No, leave me alone.
you might get hit, Sensation, dude. You might get hit with the raid, dude.
And what do we got?
It's going to Merryweather. Okay.
Merryweather.
All right, cool. All right, we're gonna go raid Merryweather. Go say hi to him. He's a good friend of ours. We like Merryweather. He does a lot of. It looks like he's doing some. I don't know what he's doing here, but it looks cool. It's probably
There's something about house shopping I saw last time he was streaming. I don't know if that's still going, but
yeah. Awesome. I'm glad you liked it, Fembo. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, glad you liked it. Again, big round of applause to Zach for coming up and talking to you guys.
Yeah.
We will see you guys on Monday. Peace out.